and then we'll take a 10-minute break, and that'll be fine.
What's your Wi-Fi?
Miracle Kerber.
There it is.
And the password is capital R Rosie with an IE. Piper, Piper, 89.
It would be like the name, not like Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah.
Or rosy cheeks.
Thank you.
It's not.
But the laughter, it's confusing.
Oh, jeez. Hey, look, I don't need my laptop here. Level
this
is.
stuff that I didn't want on here.
Go away.
Is that bummer Ryan's not playing though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. I'm gonna set these in more so I don't accidentally copy.
Yeah, we'll just say that our
Starting to feel a little better now.
good friend, what is Ryan's character's name?
Oh, it was super confusing.
Jim.
Yeah, he made it super
Jam.
simple.
It's only. Loose pages
I have that somewhere in here.
as organized as always.
Jarma.
Dharma Marmalade.
Yeah.
Dharma Marmalade. I was gonna say it had something to do with jam.
Hey, look, I have it actually right here, jar of marmalade.
Old
I
Jarma,
didn't write much down that day, but I did write that.
for the immediate future, is just enraptured with his own tentacle light and seemingly incapacitated.
Jar?
He's just gonna stroll through,
Get on the boat, dude.
conveniently distracting an enemy one time.
Yeah. But yes, last time you guys prevented Ketan from being overrun by mimics that were hiding in the public tool library. Flashback to 2 weeks before that, and last time here in Scopia.
So long ago.
I know. You guys had arrived, and after kind of looking around the city a bit and interrogating some people, you saw the arrival of the Dwergar, who you had a brief altercation with, opening a little conflict with some powerful magic, but allowing them to talk you down for the moment, it seems. You parted ways with them, met up with some gnomes who have a weird brass fish submersible with a diving bell attached to it that you will are planning on using as transport. And you met up with the vampire Visigoth's agent here in town, or at least one of them, and had a long conversation with him before capturing and interrogating Vance Farstrider of Farstrider Freight. Captain Vance Farstrider. And with a thorough interrogation of Vance, you learned a lot of things, in no small part due to Nazira's mind reading. You learned that Vance had, Farstrider Company had kind of sent Vance out here to secure an artifact that would serve as the finalization of a deal that his family's company has with the Gnomes of Ordura and the Gwengold Imperium. some sort of trade deal or access that's planned. But Quill, you would know that like this sounds bad because like the trade that comes from the Gwengold Imperium is like pretty tightly regulated by the port cities and by Ordura itself, because there's been such a contentious relationship between the three cities and the Gwengold Imperium in the past. So this broad sounding of a deal makes me kind of nervous. Like that sort of like open collaboration with the Imperium is not, it's certainly breaking with tradition.
Yeah.
Vance had hired the Dwergar representative of, you met one of them, but a representative of the Inevitable, their dreadnought that is currently anchored near the fort just on the edge of, or outside town at Wavebreaker Island. Vindel, first manacle of the Inevitable, he apparently, and his crew, or his ship, has been tasked or paid by the Farstrider Company to deal with a nuisance, Visigroth and his dread fleet, or at least Visigroth himself. So the Dwergar have been hired effectively as mercenaries to take out Visigroth and recover the artifact. An artifact that sounds quite similar to the one that you seek yourselves. A map of some ancient construct and of some potentially dramatic magical power.
Mark,
Yes.
are we map finding behind him?
You are map finding behind right now. So, last session, I believe, we left off with you guys having wrapped up the interrogation of Vance. You spoke with Horneth again, who told you that Visigroth is already in your debt if he doesn't, even though he doesn't know it, and he would send along that information as well as his recommendation that he meet with you. But he had already confirmed that Visigroth would meet you at Last Anchor, which is a small island of a little more than just a little like sandbar and like coral outcropping and stuff. But it's one of the last like decent places to anchor before you like venture in towards like through the reefs and into towards the Maw. It's on the like west side of the Maw itself. And you guys had expressed some interest in getting a night's rest before venturing any further. Some of you having spent some spells and
I mean, I'm always in favor
desperate
of
to get
rest.
those spells. We went down one spell slot, better rest.
Yeah.
I mean, we can either get through now or.
I was like night
Nice.
travel or go.
Yeah, I think we had talked about night travel, but. And just like sleeping on the bench of the bell or something. Inside the
Yeah, I
bell.
think we had talked about
I
that.
know the
I don't
problem
know
with
if
that
that
is like some of us have to hang on the outside. But
Oh,
then
yeah.
that being said,
You guys can all fit inside the bell.
okay.
We wanted to hang on the outside just
Yeah.
because.
I think some of you who are gifted with water breathing.
We're just showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Yeah, we can do night travel. And relatively full on resources.
So keep in mind, if you do want to like travel through the night, anybody who does stay awake through this current day, because right now it's like, it was pretty close to midday, I think, when you guys captured Vance. So it's probably in the early mid-afternoon at this point. But anybody who does continue on through the day and through the following night will have to make, potentially constitution checks to stave off exhaustion and whatnot.
Can we sleep on the bell like we had discussed?
Yeah, anybody who wants to try and sleep on the bell certainly can. It'll be, for sure, it'll be cramped for this many people. But it's certainly doable. Might just be a little, uncomfortable. But if you can sleep in a cramped little cell, like you can make it.
So,
with a gross little halfling.
Yeah, the tide pools.
I
Stinking
mean,
up the place.
Yeah.
it's not like we all haven't shared sleeping quarters before, so.
I would like to see if these if the gnomes can get me like a piece of copper tubing that can fit like a little rolled up document that I can throw that will sink into the ocean.
With ease, Kalba. Once you guys get back to the Brassworks and Angler Expeditions, Kalba. Oh yes. And he, will any of these do? And he brings you to like a bunch of like brass tubes that are like various sizes, like any particular size you could want. And just let me to the length.
Oh, just a little one. Thank you.
Takes off a long set of tubing, goes and like, gets this like. This puts his hand in this like glove that's like pretty heavy, and you can see like this like some like mechanical work around the like forefinger and the thumb, and he just like goes and grabs onto it and like twists his hand and like cuts the tube. Gives you like this 10-inch long like tube.
Yes. I will write my note.
Which note is this?
This is going to be a note to to Deep Sashalas, Keeper of Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on my computer, but I don't have it here. But basically, it is just a promise to make things right, and I'll send it to you once I get back to my computer.
Nice.
I usually write on Word docs so that I have them, but apparently I saved it on Word, which is dumb. Just that.
Who doesn't use a cloud?
Right?
Hey, I thought I brought another pen with a little bit juicier of a ball.
I think.
Yes. This one's being stingy. Alright.
Give up the ink pen.
Seriously. Yeah, you at your leisure can either save this to put it deeper out into the water, or you can go down to the docks and
Oh,
throw
I'll
it
save
in.
it to put it deeper out in the water.
Wonderful. Yeah, the gnomes, already having been kind of alerted to your intention and wanting to go soon, are pretty much ready to go almost at the moment's notice. They are running the forge and working on some other things, and just say, yes, just 45 minutes, we can get it cooled, we can get it cooled off, and we can be on our way.
Excellent.
Gray is going to carry out what Nazir and him had discussed. As a crab, he would like to make his way over and cling on to the ship. So once he gets out into the bay, he could turn into a whale, but since he's only seen the terrible depictions of them, it'll be like a wolf-headed whale, which will try and capsize the ship.
Oh gosh.
Excellent. Any other plans before you guys get underway?
I'll stick with the Pinshu one. Make sure he doesn't poke too many things.
Because you
I snuck
scuttled
out.
off into
Oh, yeah, he's
the
gone.
harbor as a
Yeah.
crab.
Yeah.
Well then.
So are you letting everybody know that you're back in any way?
No, I mean he just skittered off, and we haven't seen him since.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to take several hours to go out there, right?
Need some more
Oh,
of that
God.
reel?
Well, how much time is it between?
Because we're trying to get a full rest in by the time we get there.
Are they heading back? I mean, I guess you'd have to contact me some way. This is what
Yeah.
Gray's intention
Okay.
is.
Yeah, I am going to send a spell to Gray.
He's going to send. She's going to send. She's going to send.
Ascending.
Stop that.
Let me find it.
You're not doing a song while I'm here.
Oh, no, I don't have it. No, I do. Okay, good.
No singing.
Gray, we're meeting on the underwater device.
Can you respond or
Yeah.
bubble,
25.
bubble, bubble?
Animal ring.
You just hear him say, "Go ship, sink ship, whale."
And I'll cast sending again and say, yeah, planning to rest. Gray, it's going to be many hours before we get there. At least 8.
To shorten this up, yes, he finally agreed.
Okay.
That would be a much longer conversation.
Right.
In the interest of time.
You will run out of sending
Yeah.
slots.
Right. Okay, good. Just did. Actually.
You can upcast sending.
Yeah, that's true.
Send it.
Sending to
Fifth level
turbo
sending,
level.
yeah.
Some random person gets a message.
You split cast sending? That would be fun.
Single target,
Yeah.
probably.
Seems like good use of resources.
It
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really does.
I mean,
Situational, but
yeah.
Yeah, like as long as you want the same message to go to two people, then
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah,
what
this
we do.
is
To a random
share a
bystander.
supply with only those 40 characters.
Like they answer your both back at the same time, so
Oh,
you
God, yeah.
You hear nothing.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you guys are ready to set off, it sounds like.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The gnomes, quick as a whip, can get things ready. They're just running around their shop and the subterranean or the submerged basement of theirs, where their little dock is, and they prepare the ship to submerge. You notice them pulling onto the ship, like four of these heavy. They look almost like vases, but they're like made out of metal, and there are it's like an elaborate like cage almost for a like flickering like a kind of like naturally formed crystal inside. It's like arcing with like electrical energy. Each one of these like reaching the outside of the edge of the like metallic like cage that it's in. But then the cage, when it all the electrical arcs when they strike the cage, it just like seems to dissipate around. And then there are like handles on like separating out from other side. They one by one they like bring these pretty heavy looking things, at least for these small gnomes, on board. And they otherwise prepare. They remove some latches or like holding the ship in place in its little dock, and Cobble Bob says, "All right, last chance to back out
Never.
Off we go.
into the bell then."
It's like,
Should we take watches if we're going to sleep? I think
Probably.
at least two of us can watch on the outside of the ship. Free up space.
Might be good.
agreed.
You guys aren't going to sleep.
Oh, but then we all get to sleep because more comfortable, more space, and after a few hours we can just trade places.
Can you come and go out of the diving bell like that?
Yeah, you would know. You'd certainly had some experience with the diving bell, and although for you the use of it is like oftentimes more just to like put cargo that you've retrieved on one of these like expeditions, like out to investigate some wreckage or something like this. As like the diving team, you would like go and like bring things back up and put it into the bell, and then like you and the ship would come back into shore and whatnot. So you know that there is some magic in the bell that like makes air. So it's a reasonably comfortable space. It's not like if you submerge some air and took it super deep underwater, the pressure would be immense inside that little air bubble. It like seems to keep it pretty minimal. And you also know on those few occasions when you have worked with the gnomes and like been tour guide or like traveled or brought somebody else, some other air breather along, the apparatus that makes the magical airspace in the bell go, hypothetically could break or fail. So there are 3 water potions of water breathing, like basically like an emergency kit in the ceiling of the bell as well.
Okay.
So there are 3 of those in the bell. The magical apparatus that keeps it filled with air is not gonna, you're not gonna like run out of oxygen, because it's just like, it's magic, it makes air for you to breathe. So staying in there is perfectly safe. If it does, if something were to happen or break, you would know that, that compartment will suddenly become highly pressurized as the water tries to surge in, and you'll probably have a tiny little pocket of air, and then things get bad and dangerous. But otherwise, should be fine.
Okay. Should be good.
Gray would like to, as a ritual, cast water breathing on everyone in the party.
Excellent.
10 people.
Convenient.
So,
Nice.
yeah, even everyone involved.
What's the duration?
24 hours.
Nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a good safety net.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, Gray definitely heard about going into water, and he's almost drowned a number of times in his life.
Mostly while being forced to take a bath.
Yeah. He just forgets what animals can breathe and which ones can't breathe underwater.
Easy to do.
Yeah. Why not just cast a spell and save yourself the dilemma?
So are we taking can we take watches or no?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do whatever you want. Just telling you what the bells
It's a good
situation
idea.
You
is.
guys are
Take
gonna
watch.
like trade out.
Yeah.
At least for that.
And now that you all can breathe water,
Everybody
you can all
can.
take watches. There are like handholds and stuff on the outside of the bell, so you can like just kind of grab on and go along for the ride. But the ship probably does move faster than any of you who don't have a swim speed can swim easily for a long period of time. So like there's a potential if, hypothetically, like you could get left behind or if something weird happened. So people that have a swim speed would want to hold on if they were wanting to stick with the ship.
Want to take the
Speed.
first watch, Gray?
I look first.
I'll go with you,
You can stay as a wave.
so I can use my spell now.
Quill is gonna fashion a little like rope that like loop through something inside the bell that you guys can like be secured to.
Oh, I'm
Just
gonna
in case.
transform.
Oh, okay.
But thank you.
She's gonna still leave that there, like,
Yeah,
ready
leave
for
it- leave it
anybody
ready
who
for-
needs it. It's
yeah.
a rope that people can be grabbed, or that people can grab onto if need be.
There's
What
a
a
rope
lovely
like
idea.
tied up to the bell.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
dangling
meaning
outside.
like the middle of it's attached to the bell, with the two ends being like have like loops that people could like put a foot or sit in
Nice.
as like a little way to travel along.
Yeah, from where the bell is perched to the back of the ship, you're probably, with like a standard 50-foot rope, you'd be looking at like 20-ish feet on either side with knots and loops.
Okay.
So that would put you back towards probably about the middle of the
Midship
boat.
or so.
Yeah,
Okay.
of the weird ship vessel
Yeah.
or fish vessel.
Does it look anything like that?
Yeah, a little bit. I also drew a silly little
Let's see.
drawing.
I want to see everybody's
tiny.
take on it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like submarine with a
lovely.
little
We're gonna
capsule.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Like
I
a
mean, it's
lantern
tiny.
fish.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Come on, Mark, give me,
Oh,
give me.
Oh, mine had scales on it and stuff too.
Oh.
Remember when you first
Yes.
showed up, there was they were like
Yeah.
pulling a big scale out of the furnace.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't know
So
where
cool.
the that particular piece
No,
of scrap
no.
paper
Yes!
Well, let us stay on work.
But yeah, so you guys all
I'm gonna be in the kitchen checking food, so just go ahead and eat.
you guys all hop aboard and find yourselves, either inside the bell where you find a sort of like basically like a bench that circles around the interior a few feet above where the water is. You can just see like just this shimmering like little wave top bit of water that does not seep farther up into the bell beyond the like a few inches in. You can hear inside a slow murmur of some like air being moved through some like brasswork contraption above. And on the top of it, where you like tied up the rope that you used, you do find a little compartment where there are 3, now probably redundant water breathing potions.
Good to know, just in case.
Mhm. And you guys set brass locomotion on the water. as the sound of the like internal workings of the like brass fish like beginning to like move and like weave its tail back and forth. You can hear it like some vibrations and stuff like being transported through the long tube into the bell and kind of giving you this like tone that you can hear, this background noise you can hear whenever the thing is in operation. And you guys outside can probably hear it as well as the sound that kind of suffuses the water nearby. The ship is like basically just skimming the water, and right now the bell is actually protruding out onto the surface as they get out from underneath their little domicile and workshop and go out through the bay and out through past Windbreaker or Wavebreaker Island.
Are there windows in the bell?
There are. There's
This is
some.
my
Yeah,
question.
there's some like portholes around. Probably like 6 or 8 of them, kind of just around, so you can see in any direction.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys take a few minutes to kind of slowly navigate out of the immediate bay of Scofia, and then before you get out into the open water.
Attach my suckers onto part of the boat, but mostly stay half submerged in the water, just
Excellent.
like sleeping.
Is the ship called the Angler? Or is
Yeah.
it? Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh my god,
Oh, cute little child that
he's laughing.
so cute.
Oh.
Quilla and Nazira and Gray, please give me perception checks.
20.
Well, it was an extra 1, so whatever it is.
You got a 20, Gray?
22.
Yep.
22. Gray, you definitely notice this. I don't know how important it is to Gray. Nazira, you would know from reports and stuff. 'Cause Nazira, no, you went into the Gloomwood, so you would definitely notice this as well. There, you saw that like small little supply of like a few like planks of this like dark, strange wood that you learned from the gnomes came from, or is likely Gloomwood itself. Came from the Fendus Fae. As you're traveling out of the city, you're near the surface. You can see into the deep harbor area where like much more like the shipyards are, where they even have like a couple ships in dry dock, like completely lifted up out of the water and upside down as they're working on it and stuff. You see up on that in a supply yard up in that area, a not enormous, but like a sizable pile of gloomwood, of like long planks of like probably like 8 by 8, like big, not planks, but like big chunks of it. And what's surprising to you both, seeing this, is like the trees that you saw in Gloomwood when you were there were like stunted and twisted and like contorted and unhealthy and like oppressive, and these are like long, beautiful, like just straight wood. Like it's strange, but like it doesn't match like the trees as you saw them at the time when you were there.
Where is this pile located?
Where is what?
The pile located where on the docks?
Yeah, it's as you guys are heading out of the town through like the southeast exit where the bay exits. The south end has that like big like second like half of the city basically where all the industry and shipyards are. So it's in that area that you see a big pile of supplies and things. You can see it's like right just around the same area where they're like cooking up big vats of tar to help like seal decks and stuff like that, or seal the hulls of ships and things like that. There's like just a big pile of maybe 20 plus of these long chunks of like 15 foot, 20 foot long or longer chunks of gloomwood.
Hula would be curious, but she's pondering her conversation with Vance. She has no idea what's going on.
Are the gnomes with us?
You are
Or
in
do
the
they-
bell or outside the ship. Gnomes are in the interior of the ship.
Okay. Okay, so we're in the ship right now.
In the bell.
You can be where you want.
Or
So I,
I thought you were whaling.
I was going to, yeah. So we're not
You're not out into the open
out
water
there.
yet.
And
Yeah.
we're not talking, I can't just like walk up to the dock hands and be like, so what are you working on?
Yeah, you're on the ship.
Alright.
There's no comm system. You just press a button.
I mean, I guess I could send a sending tomorrow.
Another
you
spell
doing?
slot.
Things to take note of if we ever come back to Skilfia.
We have not rested yet, right?
Correct. Yeah. This is just after you've dealt with Vance, gotten back to the ship, got everything prepared, and then heading out.
Greg, how long has it been since we were in the Gloomwood together? My time gets a little confused.
3 week more?
3 weeks or more?
3 months more? He doesn't know.
That was
I feel like
pre the second attack on Ketan,
Cat-
Yeah.
it was
before the demons.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was
That would
like,
have been months.
yeah.
It was still
A
a
year?
month or more ago.
Be like maybe a couple months.
Greg, do you think the trees in the Gloomwood could grow so strong as those planks of wood?
Trees grow fast.
I mean, 3 months fast?
Bad trees. No grow tall.
Yeah. So where did they get these?
More Glimwood?
The place we didn't go to,
Other Glimwood, sure.
perhaps. Interesting.
Helpful as always, Greg.
Yep.
She just needs a sounding board, really.
Press this button. If you want a treat.
Aquila, have you seen any trees that grow wood ficus in your travels or in your
Or like
company's
we
training?
got the window and that's that Gloomwood you speak of. Would I have seen them in any of my trade?
Give me a history check.
Such a bad roll.
Get him out now.
Yeah. 12.
Cool. You'd heard, like, you're not sure if this is exactly the same stuff, but you've heard of, like, people really highly valuing, like, this really old wood material. Sometimes called dark wood, sometimes it's called, like, ironwood, things like this. But it matches the description and looks like it, but it's super old. Like, it's only pulled up usually from, like, old ruins and stuff, and it's, like, repurposed.
I'll share that. Like that, I think they use it like it's an ancient wood. Nothing that could
Well,
go
it's fair
quickly.
touched.
Probably from ruins then, maybe. I don't know where it comes from.
We found a forest of this wood, but the trees were all stunted there, and I don't think they would have been able to recover themselves in such short time.
Maybe this doesn't matter, but are they stunted like disease, like the thing that's on him?
No, it was different. It was malevolent fae force sort of thing.
Standard malevolent thing.
Yeah.
Standard Mormon, not
Just your
body
run of the
eating
mill
blight.
invasion, the fae was touching this plane a little too close.
Yeah.
It happens.
Some evil hags,
Yes.
with giant
Yeah.
swamp.
An archfey
Cauldron.
Huh.
influence. We healed that though, so but the trees wouldn't like instantly. I don't think. I mean, they could.
Maybe they straightened out. Well, if our
Like
friends
that.
are keen on getting that airship, maybe it's something we can follow up on later.
I'll send a sending to Nita.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
My character from the Gloomwood.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. I always forget that character's name.
I know.
Where
I
is
was so
what is Nita up
confused
to?
I believe Nita was headed back to Uradura after that to sort of follow up with other contacts and try to reestablish her interest there.
Hanging out with Nibbles.
Yeah.
What would her interest be?
She hates the Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So that's a pretty strong interest of hers because she was in the Imperium and then felt didn't realize she was being used for nefarious purposes.
Mhm.
So she had run away to the Priest of Thieves. So probably like trying to uncover what she can about the misdeeds of the Imperium, and like she's kind of a scientist, so interested in inventions and
Mm-hmm.
just poking around with old contacts from Erendura.
Wonderful. Yeah, what do you send off to Nita?
Yeah, I'll say, Nita, hello. I found a significant amount of sturdy wood, like unto our gloomwood wood.
We're right
That's why I
around
planned it ahead
15
of time.
words
Yeah.
right now used.
I don't think the gloom would have recovered in such a short time.
Yeah, Nita probably says,
Do you know aught of it?
do I know what?
Do you know aught of it?
Out of it. I'm gonna assume Nita.
Like,
Well-
have you been to the Gloomwood recently?
Yeah. Nita would probably say, back in Erendura, haven't followed up on the Gloomwood, but I'll keep an ear out. Interesting.
Right. I'll send I'll send a message to Element and say, how fare the trees of the Gloomwood lately?
Far better than they had before your arrival. Things are healing, but slowly. The Dryads and the Treants are being reborn. Should come see.
I'll add that to my list of things to do.
Yeah.
How did you have teleport? You really can have it all.
I could.
That's great.
Just
Great.
there. Oh, that's a good idea.
It's handy to have a wizard.
I have
Who needs a
my-
nap? Let's teleport to the Gloomwood. Mark, are you ready?
Let's do it!
So whenever you guys
Wizards
want
with
anything, there's red beans and rice ready,
Nice.
and also bread to go along with it.
Excellent.
Just help yourselves.
Wonderful.
It smells delicious too.
Sweet.
You guys want to take a break in a bit? After
Yeah.
maybe we get underway, we can
Yeah.
take a break and
Yeah.
get some food
Sure.
and stuff.
Sure.
So you guys sail on through out of the harbor of Scofia, passing on the right side, or I guess eastern side of the Wavebreaker Island, where you see the enormous kind of triangularly shaped fortress that's there. You can see it, you locals would recognize at a heightened state of security, as all of the trebuchets and other siege equipment and powerful ballista and stuff are manned at the moment, and most of the weapons trained on the Inevitable, the Dwergar ship that's anchored just off the island. You guys really hardly get hardly a second glance, as the people here have seen the gnomes come and go with their strange ship, and see the bell just protruding out of the water and moving along at a good clip, just shrug and just whatever. Seeing the other strangers perhaps outside, or swimming in the water around, as you guys maybe transform into whatever shape you want to take. Gets a second glance, but aside from that, you guys leave Scofia.
How
and
close do
are,
we get to the ship?
not terribly close. You notice that the gnomes do take a bit of a wide berth around it and around the fort. So you probably don't ever get closer than 500 yards from it.
Okay.
And after that, you guys head out a little bit southerly and westerly, or easterly rather, to get to the. I think I actually said last anchor was on the west side. Well, we'll say east side. East side of the Maw, where last anchor is. So you kind of go out and around Windbreaker island and the inevitable, and then kind of cut back in to go through the open water before you get close to the shoals and coral reefs and sandbars that kind of surround the maw and make it such a challenging and dangerous place to sail. You notice, you two locals, that the tide is currently about out and will be starting to come in again soon. And you realize that if you do want to go to the maw or anywhere nearby, best to do it when the tide's in, to give you more place to sail and not worry about the getting,
Shipwrecked.
wrecked anywhere. Or, So that's the moment as you guys get clear. You guys, the ship begins to get up to its good swimming pace. The ship does clear a solid 40 feet per second underwater. Can do a little bit faster if it's up on the surface, but it makes a good clip through the water. And you are not at the mercy of the winds either. As you as they leave the harbor, though, the angler does then eventually get underneath the water, and the light of day is taken away and replaced by the little glimmering, shimmering rays of light reflecting through the water around you and into the glass of the bell, those of you who are in it. The water here is warm and full of life. And we'll take a little break, I guess.
I would like to stay in the bell until we, because I want to see it go under.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I'll transform into a dolphin.
And do you have to go outside to be on watch, or you can do that from inside the bell?
I mean,
I think
I don't make
the
the rules.
thought was that it'll make more space for people inside.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
I think Ray would stay inside. He's got bugs to look out for. He's probably not doing great in the water if he jumps in there.
I mean, if you turn into an animal,
Transform, they'll
Right.
just transform with you.
They'll be in your skin
Yeah.
Yeah.
with your bags.
That's all,
Just be these itchy spots.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, don't do it twice.
Because you won't be able to itch with your fins.
But you have polymorph, right? You can do it more than
No.
Oh,
You
you
do it
don't?
twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baileys are so delicious.
They are delicious, but edible?
Listen, everything is edible if you eat it.
I saw someone get really upset at a restaurant because they got no meat in their food.
Bro.
They're somewhat off-putting.
Yeah.
Well, they're hard.
I mean, normally you pull it out, but sometimes they
The baby.
yeah, like I
This
would know
meat is all in my salad.
Yeah, no idea what it was.
What? Yeah, please do.
Oh, do you want some of it?
Oh, do I want some of it?
No.
Sure. I'll take just a small taste.
Okay.
That's
So,
what Louisiana-
definitely
that's
not.
what the Louisiana one is. So it's not hot at all. It's just,
I should really just go with the crystal.
It's hot. Not
it's
hot.
not hot.
Okay.
It's really not hot. And it has some spice you put a lot on,
Yeah.
but it's more food flavor.
Okay.
Which one was this? This the one that was hot?
Nice.
It's pretty hot, but
Yeah, it
that's
sounds-
why.
Or good one that's going on.
Yeah. Just a little dab. Just a little.
Oh, yeah, silverware. It's in there.
Spicy garlic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. This is that was the thing. I was just like, all right, I gotta act.
What's that? You have to hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. No, hold it. Don't talk about it. Hold it. How does it hold it?
That's
Hey,
very
coach,
hot.
I gotta go.
Very, very hot. Very good though.
Which is hot? Is it itself or the song?
No, just temperature hot.
Oh, I see.
halfway decent, it was well worth it to pay someone else to do it.
And then they get to live their passion,
Mm-hmm.
$5 at a time.
Just,
I think altogether it was like $30.
It's
With
still
the table
lovely.
and
keep putting my knee in this. And like, it'll be sturdy. And then it's like,
Tries to swallow your knee.
maybe don't put your knee into it, just your butt.
she was actually
distribute that.
she was local, so I was able to drive it to her. I'm gonna pay her $20 out of my pocket. I'm like, here, spend a little extra time on it. This way you don't have to get screwed through fiber.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
cool. They gave like the minimum through fiber and some extra through cash.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I meant for so my hair too.
I always loved when I was doing Rover and like doing dog sitting when people do that. I'm like, great, I don't have to pay them like 15%.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Because I've used like Upwork and stuff to get work, and it's like you end up paying them like 15, or I think it's even higher now. but,
Plus
like,
your like annual charge just to be on their platform.
Well,
or
luckily
whatever.
they don't. At least
Oh, that's
Upwork
nice.
doesn't do that part. But unless you wanna, you can do like a premium membership where you like can only apply, or you can apply to more jobs or something. But I never did it at that level. So. But yeah, it's a little.
Mine will remain unpainted.
Something pretty cool about just the plain metal too.
Yeah.
I don't know how often they do it, but I think they do painting nights at Root and Board, the
Mhm.
game shop in Hillsborough.
Yeah, this is Xerox prior to losing her sword.
One of them was painted.
Prior to
Oh yeah, I had
returning the sword voluntarily.
Oh, that was not Xerox. That was.
What kind of metal is that?
Unobtainium.
Literally.
It's just some kind of steel
kinda-
that they're able to 3D print with.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could do that with metal.
No, I didn't either. But this is just the first character I ever made, so it was like, nah, I'll get nice little.
Commemorative.
Kind of cool bronze.
Bronze
wood.
cast.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was inspired to get gray.
Yeah,
So cool.
like it's rendered like perfectly, like the choices you made for the equipment and stuff. It's like,
And I'm so glad your Forge has that many options. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
fun stuff.
well, I think they're starting to make tiers where you have to be a member for certain things.
Of course they are.
Let's hurt each other.
Great line.
Yup.
Are you both trying to avoid the collision?
Yeah.
And now I'm pulling my nose and trying to visit back. Ooh, nice KitchenAid.
Yeah, similar to yours, I think.
I mean, the big ass one. I don't like it as much. I really never use it that much. Except for to make pita bread, because it's easier.
We used to have one of those.
KitchenAid?
Yeah, I think we primarily used it for grating cheese.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a really
Cheese
good
grating
thing.
is a whole block. Do a pound of cheese at a
All
time.
of the nachos.
Yeah, it was so great. That like I don't remember like ever using that thing for anything other than like cheese and like chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, basically.
That's it.
About
But
as
it
skinny
no,
before,
it earned its
like,
carry its
yeah.
weight in that family. Two staples
That was
of
also
the Callaway
our
house.
diet.
That and 1 gallon cans of clam
Oh
chowder
my goodness.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
from Poshville.
1 gallon of clam chowder.
Enough to make you hate clam chowder.
Ugh.
I wouldn't.
I can taste it now.
Just think, put my hands in it.
No, stop. It's worse than the horror games.
Hmm. Taste those little bits of sandy grit in my teeth right now.
Yes.
I'm sure Gray probably did that to a pod clam chowder while walking around. He's like, oh, what's this taste like? Smell good.
Get a handful.
Yeah. Maybe on Gray's little excursion as a crab, maybe he found some like shrimp and stuff. Some like sea bugs.
Big river bugs.
Yeah.
So the intention I understand is to get some sleeps in while you travel out to Last Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nazira and Gray going first?
Yeah, we're going on watch first. Yeah. If you could call it that.
Yeah. Gray's looking for creatures, sea creatures.
Yeah.
And are you
frolicking as a dolphin?
okay? So you have changed shape or form. Are you you polymorphed?
I have polymorph.
So you're pretty dumb now.
No, 6
Oh,
intelligence.
Yeah, I mean
am
compared to
equal with
normal
Gray.
Nazira.
That's relative.
Gray has an intelligence of what now? 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Gray can do it, so can the dolphin.
Absolutely.
Gray may have been smarter as a crab.
Oh my gosh. New character idea.
Transforms into a dolphin and is like reading.
The only way I can have civilized conversation is that I turn into a crab.
Excellent. Are the rest of you, the other 3 of you, in the bell, or what?
I'm halfway in the bell and halfway out enjoying some nice seawater sleep. It's not combined nearly enough.
Okay.
Gray is in the bell, I think. He's hanging out in there.
Just keep an eye, like looking out each of the
Yeah.
portholes,
Jolas
looking for creatures.
Mm-hmm.
in the bell.
You're in the bell.
Yeah, Quill's in
For
the
now.
bell. She's like kind of secure herself to the bench and just trying to sleep.
Sounds good. Yeah, there are like some little straps and stuff, so it's easy to secure yourself in such a way that you're not worried about like just rolling out into the like spilling into the water on the floor below. So great. Those of you on watch, please roll me a 1d6.
Please.
Oh,
The right number.
It's a 2.
4.
The first hour of your travel goes by without too much of note. You do indeed find some creatures swimming around in the water. A school of little fish goes by. They turn, like one of them like comes over and like bops itself against the glass that you're looking through, and then like goes back with the school and they'll just swim off. It seems at least this close to the city, things are pretty lively, but there's nothing of immediate note. Are you guys doing like how long of a journey are you guys going to keep watch for?
How long are we? How long is the journey total?
I think it was going to be about probably about 8 hours for them to ferry you out to Last Anchor.
I only need 4 hours of meditation, so. But I'll stay up for, I don't know, 2, 3.
Oh.
I mean, I have
One
to use
is
a
probably
new
more
spell
fast.
every hour, so. Mm-hmm.
Well, Gray would stick to 2 hours, I guess. 2 hours? That break it up
It's a
evenly?
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to the bell and recast it. We go back out.
As a dolphin, come
Uh-huh.
back, turn back into an elf for a moment, recast it. There's a moment when your intelligence floods back into your body. You're like expansive consciousness, worrying about all the past and the future returns. And you're like, being a dolphin was nice. And you go back in.
I should do that more often.
Great. So first watch passes, or the first hour of the watch passes without issue. Go ahead and roll me another d6. This will be, we'll say, and the first was for the first half, so we'll say like 2 hours for each roll here.
Okay.
4.
4?
Roll, baby, roll. Just go down.
3.
Tell also want a dragon turtle like Shutmark.
As you guys continue on, there's still a decent amount of light, and it's the ocean floor while getting, farther and farther beneath you. For a while, like for the first watch, you could kind of scan along the ocean's floor. And the second watch, you have to end up going deeper to do so. And the angler tend to like, you maybe learning, maybe you would know, they tend to navigate along the bottom of the water, and they can also go up and like check stars and stuff.
That's where the best prizes are.
Mm-hmm. So you guys, the light of the day is significantly reduced as you continue along, and it does begin to get a little bit gloomy. And you hear a metallic voice of one of the gnomes pipe in through the tube and into the bell, and it says, "Hey, you wanna swim bright or swim dark?"
Do we want the lights on or do we want the...
Oh.
So stealth, I think.
I mean, who all can see in the dark? I don't remember.
Just trying to remember that.
But do you want to miss this beautiful chance to see all the wonders of the ocean?
I mean, Gray would definitely... I mean, he'll see it anyways if he puts on dark vision.
But not in full color.
That's true.
In living color.
Sometimes things you can run across some nasty things that are attracted to the light down here.
Let's go dark.
Cool, let's just sleeping through it all.
Perfect.
Gray puts the wolf head on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dark it is. You guys, they don't make any changes, and you guys slip into the deeper waters with no additional light, with just a kind of glimmering ability to see the ocean's floor and start avoiding large like outcroppings of rock and coral and stuff that could present some danger should you run into them.
Gray is actually going to go killer whale. He's going to jump in the water.
Okay.
Wolf-headed whale.
Nazira, as a dolphin, there's a moment where you're like, aquatic, your like inner ear is just like assaulted as a tiny form of Gray expands into this enormous size of a killer whale and displaces a bunch of water rapidly, and you immediately sense this enormous shape appearing beneath the bell. And you are both in your aquatic mammal forms, free to swim under the sea. As you do so, and travel along for another 15-20 minutes, you come across a head in the darkness. You begin to make out what looks to be a wreck of a ship.
Let's go investigate.
I don't know if killer whales and dolphins can communicate. I'm assuming probably not. But he nods his wolf head and agrees. Let's go check it out. I got blind sight with killer whale. Why not?
Yeah, me too. We're gonna go swim a little bit ahead and check out this wrecked ship.
Yeah, absolutely. You swim away from the angler and nose a little bit deeper and a little off to the left, to the starboard. Never remember. You head towards the ship, the wrecked ship. It looks to be, it's hard to tell. Like, there's no obvious immediate break of the ship. There's no enormous holes in the hull or anything. It's not apparent, at least at this distance, in this dark light, what sunk it. But you can go ahead and give me a perception check as you swim up closer to it.
Another 20.
It's gonna be another one of those weeks you usual 20s.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay.
4. You don't notice anything, Dolphin Zira. But Gray, you begin to slow down as Nazira is delightedly swimming around you in circles and clicking with excitement.
Absolutely.
You notice some movement on the ship. It looks like some humanoid figures are like walking around. Like we saw one just like walk slowly, like from the deck of the ship down into the hold. So there's people down there? That's weird.
I'll go boop them with the snout.
The people?
Yeah.
The one that you saw did like descend into the heart of the ship. And you can wait a moment and see if another one pops out or if another one like shows itself.
Yeah, I'll
You can
keep
swim
clicking
down.
at it, clicking at the hole.
Okay. You, the two of you, swim closer to the ship, and you begin to, both of you, smell in the water, smell of rot, and a kill going spoiled.
Good stink.
No, thank you.
I think Gray would kind of look into Zira and like motion back to the ship.
Yeah. Go back to the ship.
Okay. You turn around, and as you make your way back towards the Angler, do so, unmolested by whatever may be in the ship, and you continue on. The two of yours, your watch comes to a close. You've had a good 4 or 3.5, maybe 3, if we're really serious, hours of sleep. In the uncomfortable and new confines of the bell with its strange noises, and the clicking of dolphins and other beasts outside. But the two of your watch comes to a close.
I'll come
Who's up
back
next?
into the bell and begin my meditation.
Jolas will take.
Oh,
You will go with Jolas.
there's a ship that's wrecked.
There's a lot of ships that are wrecked.
Yeah, down there. And is it in our path or are we moving around it?
You guys had to kind of swim off to the side to meet it. The gnomes either didn't see it or they didn't care to turn to investigate immediately.
People on ship. Smelly people.
Who are they? I didn't see anyone.
Yeah. Go inside. Not come out.
Smelly people on the ship.
Smell of
Did you
rot.
poke anybody?
Boop. No boop. Try boop.
We decided to come back.
I think that might have been wise.
Yeah.
Do we hear of monsters under the oceans as us pirates?
Hell yeah.
Humanoid monsters.
Humanoid people on
Yeah.
something? Yes. It's best to leave those alone.
The ocean is full of dangers. No one knows what could be down there. See something weird?
Just avoid it.
Go
All
straight
costs.
forward.
Yeah. Go check it out.
Best to stay away.
Big river, weird.
There.
Though, at the mention of rotting flesh, Jolas is like his sea urchin side is kind of.
I gotta get out there.
I don't know if I could stay away.
Oh, you can. Ready for a swim?
Yeah. Jolas will swim closer to as his swimming speed is not quite the greatest.
What is that swimming speed?
10.
10. Yeah, I mean that.
Sea urchins.
Sea urchins are not known for their speed.
So he
I
can
forgot to write mine down.
stay within, and he'll have a hold of the diving bell, but also have one of his harpoons ready just in case.
Excellent.
The Tidebringer did lower a rope into the water if you would like to hold on to it.
Yeah. Jolas will take advantage of that.
If you want to get
He'll
Took
go
me a
back,
moment.
perspective outside of the.
get back
The bell.
about midway to kind of view things, and you'll take the front, I'm assuming.
Oh, yes, I will.
Okay, so you're gonna hang on to the rope, is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay, so you just kind of hang on to the rope and be able to pull yourself in if you need to.
Yeah.
Excellent. And great. So why don't the two of you, as you continue on deeper into the open sea, it was still skimming along kind of the edge of the difficult terrain around the Maw and its surrounding territory. So go ahead and give me another D6, the two of you who are now on watch. Do we have
4.
6.
6.
Bum, bum,
I
bum.
never want to roll high or low.
You guys continue on, metallically creaking your way through the water. There is the two of you, or at least you in the front, see something moving in the darkness ahead. Something large and ponderous. It looks, just through the outline of it that you can see in the darkness, like a big rocky outcropping, but it's moving across your path. Maybe actually
It's a moving
towards
rocky
you,
rock-
and kind of like towards you in a way, as if it's heading maybe southwest, or rather northeast rather, towards maybe closer to the land, away from more or less the direction of like north of the Maw. But it's just slowly drifting. It's like you can't tell if it's just like, is it floating through a little current? Is it somehow like moving itself?
I don't see any flippers.
No flippers. All you can really see right now at this distance is like the outline of it in the darkness, like how it occludes the light, and you just see this kind of like rocky just shape that's just.
I'll climb along the edge towards where Jolas is while keeping an eye on it. Jolas, do you notice that out there?
Mark, we never discussed my ability to see in water or anything, or dark vision. That
I would give both of you dark vision, but vision in the water is always tough.
Okay, so
you won't have like this supernatural ability to see through the
Okay.
water.
So can I see it at all?
You can see more or less kind of the same, just like as he draws your attention to it, this like hulking mass of what looks to be like maybe stone. Give me a perception check as you guys glimpse at it.
Ooh. 22.
23.
Yeah, the two of you see this thing is definitely moving. Like you can see just some of the like elements of like light reflecting in through these shafts. You can see like bits of like plankton and like other like debris moving in the opposite direction. So it's like moving against some like element of current, however minimal it is. So it has to be moving itself
And
along.
towards land. I think we leave it.
Is there a way to
Nothing.
talk to the gnomes on the inside?
I can.
I started
Yeah.
knocking.
I pictured the like attaching cord as being like one of those pipes, on the playground.
It's basically
yeah,
Is
like,
that one?
like
Yeah.
Paris
Would
Hilton.
Would I know
That's,
of a way to?
that's how they were able, like that's how their
Because they
metallic
talked to
voice
us.
came
Oh.
into the
Yeah.
bell.
So you have to go into the bell to
Mhm.
talk.
Okay.
You
I'll
go
relay.
into the bell, I'll keep an eye out.
I'll go into the bell and relay this information back to the gnomes.
Okay.
As to what we're seeing.
The rest of you would hear this as well.
Cool, it's got
Unless
like
you're
wrapped around her head, trying to see.
Yeah, unless you're deeply in sleep. The gnomes say, "Moving rocks."
Appears to be. I don't think it's a rock. Doesn't appear to
You
be
wanna
a
look?
rock.
We could look.
We should
It
look.
could be good.
Could be good. Could be something to be made. Though could
You don't mind
make us
taking a
late.
dive, do you?
Not at all. As long as you pay me.
Standard bonuses apply.
yeah, so I'm not averse to taking a dive and like going and seeing what, getting closer.
Okay. The rest of you, are you asleep, or do you need waking up to hear any of this? What's the
Oh.
situation?
How long have we been asleep for?
This is probably another like at least 45 minutes to an hour after you ended your watch, so it's definitely enough time to get into a sleep if you would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or do I get a short rest in at that point?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Quill is just trying to sleep. She's not.
Dead to the world.
Yep. Dead the world as much as possible.
Gray will pop back up. He's curious.
Like, unless someone intentionally wakes Quill up, she's gonna try to sleep through everything.
Okay.
I'm still conscious.
You're
'Cause I'm
deep in
elf.
your reverie, or you're deep in your
But I'm not
trance.
that deep. It's only
Aren't
an
you
hour.
though?
No.
Yeah, you can listen in and pop out if you want to, for sure. But the Joel, are you going in as well?
I mean, I'm outside on the boat, keeping an eye out,
Uh,
waiting for Jolas to come back.
I'll
keeping it
so I'll
alive.
go back out and apprise him of what gnomes are.
Do you want some light
Saying.
up there?
You need to get closer to that.
I will be closer.
I have one job, and it's to make sure that the girl inside the bell doesn't die. Is she coming with you?
She's in the bell.
Then I'll keep watching you.
You lose out on any rewards you lose out on, Sarah.
Listen, we were told to do something. Greater callings, better than money. Have fun.
He's very conflicted at this point, but also his life hasn't been great. He likes money.
I can imagine Gray would go and kill a whale again to join you. To go back out there. He wants to see what's out in the big river.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I will try to. How fast this thing is moving? Real slow, right?
Real slow.
So I'll make my way towards it, but I'll try to keep an eye out for anything that I can see as like sensory, like trying to be stealthy as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing how this thing perceives the world at all.
Yeah.
So
Whatever this thing is.
I'm going to head into the bell to watch from a portal.
Wonderful.
So if I need to
Also
wake anybody up,
watching.
Okay.
I'll
So
dab.
two of you, one sleeping, two of you are going out, and two of you are watching. Got it. The two of you that go out to interrogate or investigate this thing, as you draw closer, its shape does indeed resolve into what looks to be just like a large, like rocky, like chunk. Like you can see different like chunks of rock that are like growing out of it, and on top of all this, just like an enormous amount of coral just growing all around it and on top of it. And as you get close enough, you can see at the very top there's some like organization to it, where like chaotic like growths of coral were like kind of just like almost like competing with each other, like growing out of strange organically determined shapes. There is like this ordered set of like almost like spiraling growth of coral. There's like dozens and dozens of these like tubes coming out vertically, right around like the central like flat, like almost like platform or something, at the top of this rocky moving thing. As you get closer to it's you can see there are like bubbles like emanating from the bottom of it, and there's like some movement of like just the tiniest little legs, like millions of them potentially, just like moving this thing along at just like a snail's pace. But it's like as they're moving, they're like releasing little bits of air bubbles and stuff that just kind of float up and around and up to the surface.
have I heard of anything like? Because this seems like a colony to me.
You can give me a nature check.
Okay. That's 4.
Yeah, it seems like a colony of some kind.
Could Gray equate it to anything that he would recognize?
With his vast knowledge of the Big River,
Big
go
River.
and give me a nature check.
I mean, comparing to things that he's seen
Yeah,
around
yeah,
the
yeah.
world, you know. 11 puts nature, it's 14.
14. You, when your companion mentions something about it, like it's a colony or something, you remember almost like the most similar thing you can really relate it to is your infection. When you spoke with plants and animals or whatever with that spell, when you like spoke to that like weird alien, weird fungal growth from your body, and it spoke to you as innumerable voices in a chorus, like that's like the only thing that like makes sense to you, like as something similar. Because like that, like when you're really looking at it, you can see like tiny bits of like individual like little like growths and stuff trying to like, you know, moving on their own, and like that's kind of similar to like the base of this thing is these tiny little legs are moving it around. But it's weird. It's definitely nothing like anything you've encountered on the surface, I don't think.
I'm going to. So is the vessel just keeping pace with it, just somewhere?
Yeah, the gnome seemed to have kind of slowed up, so it's coming kind of across your guys' front. So at its previous pace, it would have just like gone past it pretty quickly. But you guys kind of slowed, and the two of you swam off to go see it. So I'd say you're maybe like 100 feet away from the boat right now, from the angler.
I'm gonna let Gray know that I'm going to relay what I'm seeing. Do I see it? Well, first, they're gonna want to know if I see anything that might be of value. So I'm gonna look around and see if I can see anything of value.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
27.
27. As you kind of like swim around this thing, you saw it's like the strange bubbling mess underneath it, and it's hard to get any like great detail. Swim around the top, you see the great like tubes growing out of it in this big cluster, this like semicircle cluster, just like growing up into the sky. You can see as you draw closer, there's like movement of water like coming out of the tubes as well. Like you can see like the current. Like kind of there must be water being projected up through the tubes, so you can see its effect on the water and like debris in the water above them. You would still be a decent distance away when you begin to hear music, like some deep like almost like whale song sort of music seemingly coming from this. Just faintly, even at the distance you are. With that high of perception, you got to read on that real quick. Didn't have to get too close to it.
Okay. But I see nothing that could be threatening. So I'm going to move in the direction of the music. I think that's what my guy is telling me.
Yeah, you swim down come up from above, and you swim down towards the top of this like moving like just structure of rock and coral. You see that around the pipes there is like a central like platform almost, and there's some strange structure, like almost like carved into the rock, like a bench at the base of those pipes.
Interesting. I'm gonna get closer to the bench. Does it look like anything that I would have recognized?
You've led a short or a strange life. You have these glimmers of memory from your human half, deep in its broken brain. of attending a like temple service, some god that you don't remember what it was or whatever, but you remember a vast instrument, not unlike what you're seeing here on the back of whatever this is, an organ. That you can see, just like you have this flash of just memory of like keys and keys that are played to create, streams of air, make music, to make sounds. There is music being played from this moving rock out of a choral organ.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't see anything that I could possibly... So there's an organ, but unless we're like gonna try to take that, I don't think necessarily a good idea.
Yeah, you can see in the glimmer of light down here, just like some of the keys being depressed, as if invisible hands were playing this.
Yeah. That kind of creeps me out, so I'm gonna back off and head back towards the ship to let them know what I've seen.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing. I'm willing to. I would like to give money good, death not.
Yeah, Gray follows him back, turns back and says, "Red herring." And he points at the fish on his back.
When he's telling everybody this, have I heard of an organ playing massive thing?
I
know
give me a history check.
This has gotta be something that is popular with everybody. No, it's
Everybody
not.
goes on Saturday night to go see the organ rock.
Yeah,
Check too.
the organ rock.
Yeah, go for it.
9.
History.
You can do history or religion in case this is something deep Sahelish or Seychelles related or some weirdness. But 9, yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is quite cute.
26.
26. You hear you hear them describing this like coral rock that is just slowly meandering through the water and playing music on it from itself or whatever this is. You remember some like verse in one of the holy texts about deep Seychelles, and is it Seychelles?
Seychelles.
Seychelles? Of course, it's Elven, so it's pronounced weird. Seychelles. That like even the rocks, even the sea, even the coral and the fish would sing his praises. And you think of this as like, is this something that's just like so infused with, or so close to the gods of the sea and of nature, that it is there? It's just singing praises to its creator, maybe. It doesn't like the little bit, the twinkling of memory and context you can provide for such a thing seems positive.
So it's a Jesus fish.
Nice.
Alternatively, perhaps some mage once animated an organ and sent it to walk and play. This is the result.
Either side of that coin.
Fortunately, I don't remember quite enough to assess.
Must be one powerful mage.
It seems really fascinating.
Mr. Red's note. Animate organ.
Send it walking into the ocean to see what happens.
Check in on it in 1,000 years.
Were the tubes themselves made of stone as well?
This seemed to be of the same living material.
Like the coral?
Yeah, aye.
And then the rock was the substrate, though.
Yes. worth much money, unfortunately.
Well, you're probably right. Not worth much money.
I'm sure
at all.
many thrill seekers would pay a great deal to see the wondrous undersea organ.
If you can
Have you-
find it again.
True.
Would that I had a net large enough to drag this back in.
Perhaps one of the gods of the sea decided to animate such a creature just for fun.
Like those sirens.
What sirens?
You know, the swimming fish ladies that
The
cause
sea nymphs,
trouble,
Yeah.
luring poor sailors out to
Are they
sea.
around this area?
I've heard tales.
Interesting.
I'll report that there's nothing really out there. It's just
That is a lie.
that we cannot. Nothing that we can take.
There is a wondrous organ there.
You have, by all means, go out there, commune with it.
I would, but I have to conserve my magic.
Such
Show
as you're
some
never.
wizards.
Well,
One horse.
true. Let's see here.
Around the entire thing.
I do have 2 more spell slots. 3 that I can use.
Ooh.
An unused spell slot is just dead weight.
Let's just wait. Yeah. Yeah, I want to turn it into a dolphin and look at it too.
Yeah.
But you can just narrate it.
Yeah, you slip out into the water and transform into a dolphin in a fluid magical motion, and swim over to the strange ambulatory coral. You seems like it. Give me a how like you draw close enough to. Given that you were already warned about this, or like given some notice, you begin to hear the sounds of its sonorous, like long, like multi-layer, like organ, like this is like multiple notes like playing over each other in different rhythms, and it's strange and tranquil and beautiful sounding. But you hear that before you get maybe 100 feet away from it, and you can get closer.
Yeah, I'll get closer.
Yeah. You swim down there and see what looks to be like this like organically grown coral based, like it looks like a piano or an organ or some similar instrument that you've seen back home, just some variation on it, and just the immense like tubes of grown coral that are just constantly like opening up and releasing like flowing water. You can tell that it doesn't move air, but it just moves water itself, and the tones that it makes are pretty low, but it is like when you're around it, it's like coming from everywhere around you and like vibrating like your water in your body. So it just like feels like as you get closer, like it's coming from within you almost, the music of it. It's tough to interact with an organ though as a dolphin. You can kind of hit it with your nose or
I'll
flippers.
swim around its little pipes.
Yeah, give it a good swim.
Yeah.
Swimming through the currents and the bubbles of it, like you can really feel the music.
Eventually I'll come back to the
There is a moment as you were swimming around in that you feel a connection to Sashalas. You feel a connection to the ocean and to the sea and to all the life within it. And there's a moment where you remember speaking words into the water and feeling those words radiate throughout the entire ocean. You're almost like overwhelmed by this moment because like as you remember it, you remember like saying things. You don't remember the content of what you were saying, but you remember speaking something, and it was powerful and it was momentous, and it just reverberated throughout all the sea. And you felt every ear and organ that received those words as well. Like you remember the hearing, not like being the hearer, but you just remember like when you spoke, you suddenly were connected to everything and everyone that heard it as well. And there's that moment where just like the music that's around you, like vibrating within yourself, just almost like overwhelms you. And you feel your consciousness almost like being pushed, retreating maybe into the library of Vitaria before you come back to yourself in your current dolphin state. And everything's kind of confusing and weird. All right. The giant stone and coral construct continues its slow ambulation across the water's floor, kicking up that some amount of dust and silt from the bottom of the sea as it goes, and the faintest sense of its song or its music fades with its departure. You guys continue on.
Well, sorry to wake everybody. Big rocks. Well, I'm going back.
Excellent. I need another bathroom break.
We almost became gods.
You had your chance.
We had our chance. Felix could be playing that organ from now until the rest of his dying
It's like
day.
Mario like whistle to skip to the last level.
What's your character's name again?
Hewitt.
Hewitt, there we go.
H-U-I-T.
I love your octopus picture there.
Jules is
I like my
J-O-H-A-S?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
J-O-H.
I was
Yes.
laughing at myself a lot when I came up with that.
Jonathan Sugarmouth.
So his eyes at the top of his head, or the actual?
No, his eyes are down here. Those are
Okay.
the fake eyes that he uses to like
Mm.
make it seem like he's more human when he's on land.
And now that you're
The
back,
actual eyes like hang out down around his chest.
do you take? Do you now like expose yourself as not being a?
Oh yeah, well I'm in the water. I'm
Okay.
like clothes off, just
Right.
like octopus, full on octo.
That profile is on point too.
That was pretty fun. This one here, I was done I wanted to draw more, and then I was like, and I didn't. I just finished that one. Well, I was trying to figure out how to color this. Actually, the color turned out way better than I did originally. Like I was coloring it, I was like, all these colors started to bleed together. It worked out pretty well.
What were you using? What do you use?
I just use fine tip markers that, yeah. I have
Alcohol
for
or
that
water
one.
based?
I have no
Okay.
idea. They're like, someone gave them to, either my wife bought them or someone gave them to her, and she never really used them, so I used them for a few things. But then she also just recently got these watercolor pens that she doesn't like. So, I don't know, they bleed through. I don't know if that tells anything, but they're like, definitely bleed through stuff.
Not as bad as an alcohol one.
Yeah. And they like color sometimes
Oh, the water.
do okay,
Yeah.
but then like this I did a little bit with watercolor stuff, I think, but they're not super great for like other paper. I did that one drawing with them, the orc dude, because I have other paper, which I also stole from her. Because she doesn't like, if she doesn't like our supplies, I just steal them and use them for my own nefarious purposes of
Seems reasonable.
D&D characters. Mostly. I try other things occasionally, but it's mostly just Dungeons and Dragons characters.
Sounds like the best use of
I think it-
Yeah.
this ever.
Okay.
What are you supposed to do with all this paper?
Let's do it.
Take work notes every once in a while. Yeah.
I mean, the sooner you forget about something from work, the better.
Very true.
So, the last half of your watch, please. Give me another d6 roll.
Another 6. If I roll a 6 again, will there be another giant or the stone?
It'll
like,
be
starts
exactly the
chasing
same
us?
thing happening again. Absolutely.
Two of them. Two.
5.
2 and 5. All right. You continue on, not being distracted by Rex or too distracted by hulking, mobile, rocky coral colonies that are making music, and continue on towards Last Anchor. As you do, you can see once again some shapes moving in the darkness at the edge of your vision. It looks like more than one, some of them larger, some of them smaller. It's challenging to get an idea of the scale and the distance of them. Go ahead and give me a perception check, those of you on watch.
Oh, natural 1.
17.
17. With the 17, you notice, you can there's this moment where your brain's just struggling to figure out the scale and distance of these things, these different shapes in the darkness. It's hard to tell how far away from each other are they, what is this? You can tell that there is one very large shark, about the size of Gray when he's a killer whale.
That's a big shark.
Swimming around that is maybe another less than a dozen other shapes are kind of swimming around. You can see them go far enough in the darkness. You're not sure exactly in your count of them. Maybe 6, 7, 8 of these other creatures look like smaller sharks. At least the very large shark and one of the smaller ones has a rider. On the big shark, almost just this tiny little flea riding this dog. It's tiny. Comparatively, it's it's just this little person just strapped to the back of this enormous beast, slowly, ponderously moving its way through the water with these other creatures, shark-like creatures, kind of swimming around it. One of those has a rider as well.
Do they seem to be coming in our direction?
They do not. It looks like as you clock them, they're moving kind of towards you, your paths may get closer to crossing. They clock you as well. You can tell one of the riders on the smaller shark is turns and moves directly towards you for a moment, and then kind of swims back and moves directly towards you for a moment to just kind of keep an eye on you as they travel. It seems they aren't interested in you, whatever this group of things is.
I wave.
You don't get a friendly wave back, I'll tell you that.
That's just rude.
Maybe they didn't see you.
But they did.
100%
I don't even bother telling Joel this. I just on my way away. I have no interest in your combats.
You need not. It seems that
But if we get close enough, I'll yell at them and say hi.
yeah, they kind of keep their distance from you. It looks like for a good 10 minutes they're kind of just tailing you, keeping an eye on your party, seeing what you're doing. But as you continue just
Can I
to
look around to see if there's anything that they might be guarding, or are they
good question. Yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh, I want to keep it, but it wasn't in the box. It's okay. 15.
15. You can see it in the dark in the distance on the sea floor. You can see just various outcroppings. It's hard to tell what might be just outcroppings of rock, what might be outcroppings of like a wreck or something. Like, you know from your experience here, like ships sink out here pretty regularly. So it's not that uncommon to find wreckages and things. So perhaps there's something nearby that they're claiming, or you don't know, but you don't see anything that's like a surefire, like, oh, that's what they're puppy guarding.
How close are we to the maw?
Maybe like, you can call in to the gnomes and ask, or if you have a really good sense of time, you probably know like maybe an hour or less at this point.
Keeping it to myself. Going on.
Okay.
We don't need treasures. Just protecting the tide skull rod. Tide rod.
Tidebringer's call.
Yep, that one.
The tide rod.
It's been called many things.
Are we going to the far side of the mall?
So,
Because it's only an hour out and we've only passed 4 hours. I'm just like,
no, you guys are coming up on like 8 hours down. So like you're coming towards the end of your journey already. Because you guys have
Okay.
spent like,
It's like 8
This
hours
was
out
this
there,
is
right?
the second watch already.
yeah.
So you guys the second watch is coming to its conclusion.
Ours was 2 hours.
You guys was like 3 hours.
Okay.
We're gonna get through
Okay.
with just
Alright.
2 sets of
Just-
Once we
watches.
just
hung
as
out
long
with
as
the
I
thingies
get
for a while.
my
You'll get your rest. don't
Okay.
worry. Yeah. But yeah, Scopia's up here on
Oh,
the
okay.
coast, and the mall's down here. So you're kind of like scooting this way to
Okay.
get to this, like, eastern side of the mall.
That's weird.
I mean, western. Wait.
Eastern
Eastern
side is what you
side.
said last time. I'm keeping track now.
Yeah. I need to put a compass rose on all of these because every time, especially when I'm looking at it upside down, I'm like, wait, never
How do you
eat
orient?
shredded wheat, but flip it.
Remember to drink your.
Fantastic. The school of shark creatures and riders leave you alone as you continue just swimming your way steadily through.
Yeah, they do. We have one.
Quilla,
Yes.
you've been napping
Mhm.
with the thing on your head?
Yep. Wrapped a cloak around my head and trying to tune the world out.
Nice. As you sleep as much as you can, as fitfully as you may, you are somewhat calmed by the regular rhythmic noises that the ship and its movements make. Aside from the occasional disturbances of your party members coming in to babble about nonsense, about walking
Strange things they're
musical
seeing.
instruments and things.
Mm.
You sleep. And in your sleep, you drift off, hearing the noise of like just a little bit of water lapping up on into the bottom of the bell, washing in, and it reminds you of waves lapping on the shore. And as you fall asleep, you find yourself walking through darkness surrounded by that noise. And then you begin to hear the sounds of bird calls of like seagulls and other birds. And your vision starts to alight, and you find yourself walking along the seashore, or the seashore, that's the right word. And not alone. You are walking beside a now somewhat familiar figure, one that you've seen in visions at least, or dreams before. An elven figure, tall and lanky with a long shock of unkempt kind of seafoam green hair. You feel in this place though like the tide's coming in, like the water's rising up around you as you walk on the beach. And you continue to walk with your companion seemingly unworried by this. And the water continues to rise around you, around your knees, around your hips, and then all the way up your shoulders, and then submerges you. And yet you continue just to walk. You can feel a pressure in the water. Pressure like you're deep, deep under the waves. But it's almost like you get the sense of being watched. Something having its eyes on you.
Trying to look around. Trying to like stay confident seeming because I want to impress my companion. But yeah, I'm gonna be on the lookout. Trying to understand what I'm seeing or feeling.
Give me a little perception check.
Try a different die. 10.
You see long, murky shapes sliding through the darkness at the edge of your vision. Swimming around you in all directions. You can feel it almost like closing in, and that is the source of the pressure you're feeling. It is something watching you, something coming for you. You wake up in darkness, your head swaddled in a cloak, and you're in the bell.
Gotta like flail it off of me and like sit up. Try to regain my dignity, look around, see if anybody noticed my temporary panic.
With a passive perception of 18, I think Gray definitely got
Yeah, a little like try to regain her dignity a little bit, and it's my turn to watch. Like, how's it going?
Have a bad dream?
You could say that. Strange. The pressure of the water and something's overwhelming. Is the sensation of being watched on there?
It lingers,
That's unfortunate.
and it feels a little bit closer inside the bell now, like there's more air pressure in here.
Seems the air's okay in here, right? I'm looking at Hugh and Jonas. It's like nothing's changed. Nothing's.
Yeah.
This works.
Jolas will take a deep inhale. And do I sense anything different about the air in here?
No, it feels normal. You can hear a slight, like, pitched whine of the, like, air circulator magic contraption thing. Give it a good smack and it. Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, guess we'll see where this leads us.
Let's see.
I feel like there's gonna be more to this than just getting a map from our good old vampire friend.
Do we see his ship anywhere near? As we're getting closer.
Yeah, I mean, you won't be able to see it until it's, like, within a couple hundred feet of you at the earliest.
Still hanging out there. Suctioned onto the ship. Just very happy to be in the seawater.
Absolutely. You all finish your watch, check in with the gnomes. They say it should be less than like 45 minutes or an hour or so before you get to last anchor. Yeah, so really just like an hour left. You guys have completed your watches, but there is a little bit of time left until you arrive. How would you like to arrange yourselves for the last leg?
Jolas will go back outside and he enjoyed his time trolling behind on the ropes. It's a little different than he's used to, so he's going to go do that.
Bryn is now starting a chant inside of the bubble pie rat.
Great. You guys continue on. Quilla, you feel the pressure increase and grow and grow. As if you're like beginning to feel like trapped
Uncomfortable.
in this little bell.
I'm gonna take a swim, and I like grab my rope thing and like kind of situate myself on it and just sort of bob down into the water below the bell, slowly and looking around to see if I see anything.
You know, you get out into the water, and all of you out in the water, well, especially you two, begin to smell blood in the current.
Blood in the water. I look back to Jolas.
And Jolas will grin at him and says, "Smells like meal."
Delightful. Oh, Tidebringer.
Yeah.
Didn't notice you out here.
Do I feel any less pressure when I'm out in the water? It's just
Out here, it feels less like you're trapped. Like it feels like a little bit more comfortable, but there's still that pressure there. Like it feels less like you're in a tiny little hole and feeling this, but at least now you can see around you. But you look around and see just like, you know, you can see like the shimmering sea floor, but eventually just see darkness in every direction with like, you know, shimmers of light through the water. So it has its own bit of anxiety associated with it.
Yeah.
There's my little
Yay!
show.
So cute.
It's very fishy.
So great.
I'm content.
Yeah.
Found
Makes me
it.
happy.
Had other important notes. I wasn't just looking for that this whole time.
Yeah. I'm just gonna tell the others, like, this feels oppressive. I don't know what's
Is
going
it
on.
dark?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but
Could convince the gnomes to turn the lights on?
I don't know if we need to, we smell that irony smell. I don't think we want to draw attention to
Oh, the
ourselves.
blood. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that means we probably should try to stay quiet.
I mean, unless you're hungry.
I don't want to attract the other things that are hungry.
We passed the sharks some time ago.
Oh, you didn't tell anybody about that.
Oh, there were sharks. People riding them. Nothing to be concerned about. Kind of assholes, if you ask me.
Didn't even wave back.
In my sea travels, would I have ever heard of anything like that?
People riding sharks?
Yeah.
I mean,
Water.
you've heard so many wild stories about the ocean and ocean life. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what's real and what's not. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite normal. I didn't feel like bothering anybody.
Okay.
This happens all the time. Scofia, shark riders always coming to town.
All those shark riders.
Some
Just-
kids riding their
Yeah.
sharks around the harbor.
No, just kidding. That doesn't happen.
Give me a perception check, y'all who are aware of this
Hugely
bloody
smelly
scent.
one. Damn it!
23.
13.
Gray, what form are you in right now?
He's great form.
Gray form. Are you in the bell?
Yes, with the wolf head on.
Oh, then you can't smell this. Sorry, this is a smell check.
No, never mind then.
Smell challenge.
Actually, I'll say because the bell is open to the water beneath, some amount of the water would become exposed to the air. Some amount of that. You had a good roll. You smell blood, and it, there's some pang in your stomach. It makes you kind of hungry. And then it turns a little, like, this isn't blood you're smelling. Like, there's some other smell in it. It's like acidic or something. It smells bad. It smells like it would make your stomach hurt. Maybe
Great.
your butt hurt.
It smelled like butt hurt.
Does it smell similar to the last boat with the people on it?
Oh,
You said
the
not
rotten. No. This that smelled like just very much like decaying flesh. This smells like, first it smelled like there was some blood in the water. Now it's like almost like something acidic mixed in with the blood, like something vile. But you're getting the whiff of it, and do you?
Yeah, I let him know there's bad smell,
As you guys
which you don't normally hear Gray say.
give it another smell, maybe like an open-mouthed smell, get a little taste of it. It's something like blood, but it's different and it's kind of foul.
Chloe's getting grossed out. She's gonna deal with the pressure in the bell and swim back inside of it. I
No,
don't
di-
want to eat this.
Bye again.
I don't want to breathe this garbage in.
She was,
Is the mom always like this? Is this the mom?
not that I know. Looking at my DM. No, don't believe. Which direction is it coming from?
It's kind of coming from ahead of you, it seems like.
Should we go check it out?
Should warn the gnomes
You warn the gnomes.
and get this. They probably want to slow the shit down if there's a smell of blood ahead of us.
Y'all will go faster.
I'll swim inside and let the gnomes know that we're definitely smelling a good amount of blood on the water out here,
And something weird about it.
and there's something odd about it.
We'll charge up the discharge device. Ahead fast or slow.
Discharge device? I'm not in the boat.
Head fast or slow.
Everybody in the bell would hear their voices echo into the chamber.
And Jolas will look around at the rest of whoever's in there.
Fast.
Go fast, go fast, go fast.
Fast.
I guess so.
Ahead full! And there's a brief surge and strangeness as the kind of rhythm of the ship changes as it accelerates. And you guys propel yourselves forward through the water.
Does the blood smell get stronger out here?
It does.
I'm keeping my eyes out.
It seems like there is something in the water ahead of you somewhere, and it is emitting this strange, bloody, toxic scent. It's coming down through the currents. You could potentially try and avoid it, but it's hard to tell exactly where it's coming from. But it does seem to be somewhere between you and your destination.
How far down are we?
Right around here, the water is probably just like 200 feet deep or so. There's just like a little bit of light that you can see just like glimmering when like there's sometimes like the shape of the waves really just determines how well the light's reflected down below, so you get these like weird glimmering effects, but
Does it feel
it's like dim light pretty much around you.
it's coming from our level, up above, down below?
With Gray's perception check, Gray would know that it is, in the little bit that you've experienced it, it seems to be coming from about your levels, like down in the depths.
Maybe we can get a little closer to the surface.
Go up. Less smell.
maybe less pressure.
I'm outside the boat.
So, we wish to gain some altitude, lose some depth.
So you command the gnomes to ascend.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody blow out really hard. Nobody get the bends.
The magical contraption magically protects you from the bends. The air device. It fixes the nitrogen in your body for you. Yeah, the gnomes comply, and you can feel the shift in the boat temporarily. The bell like shifts to it's always basically upright, even no matter which way the ship is going. But the ship does start ascending through the water, and moments pass as the light grows a little bit brighter. Do you guys ascend? Are you guys going all the way to the surface?
Not over the surface, I think. I don't know. What do you all think?
Not to the surface, I
I
don't
think
think.
stay just below the surface, but see if it's different there.
I'm gonna climb to the bottom of the boat to see if I can see where the bloody stuff is coming from.
Okay.
Gratus has his face smushed up against the glass. It's going super fast in the water. He's loving it. A dog hanging his head out the window or something.
Joel, you, what's your name? Your character's name again?
Hewitt.
Hewitt, that's right. Give me a perception check as you cling to the bottom and look ahead and into the depths.
Natural 20 for 23.
Damn.
I see everything.
Almost regret asking for that roll.
Don't ask for one
JK.
if you don't want one.
You guys climb towards the surface. Quilla, you don't feel the pressure decay. Like it doesn't grow any lighter. In fact, as you get closer to the surface, you can feel the mounting pressure just continue to get heavier. It feels like something is watching you. It has its eyes like bearing down on the back of your neck. You feel a lightness or a warmth or a presence in the Tidebringer's call in your hand, and you find that you've kind of absent-mindedly like pulled it from its like holding spot. You,
I feel it getting
Hewitt,
warmer.
see as the ship continues to ascend and then starts to level out closer to the surface, maybe like 20, 30 feet beneath. There is a large snake-like shape darting through the water in a cloud of viscous fluid, moving in your direction from the deeps.
I wave.
It does not wave back.
Damn it!
Seems pretty unfriendly.
But it's coming for us.
It certainly seems to be making its way in all due haste towards you at this moment.
Hey, everybody,
Yes, we
how
see
do you
tentacles.
feel about snakes?
Like sea snakes.
Big ones.
Jolas is without just grabbing a hold of the rope and just jumping out with a harpoon in hand.
Oh, gnomes!
We might need that disruptor.
There's this very large snake coming. Can this thing go any faster?
Nope.
Disruptor, if we get swallowed, seems possible.
As you begin to feel this like electrostatic like hum and like this like feel a bit like of your hair just like standing out on end. They're charging to something up.
How far? Back out there. How far away? Like, is it going to be in us in minutes or seconds?
Seeing this thing out there in the dark, just sliding through the water, you think you have less than a minute before it arrives at the ship. even with you trying to just move away from it with all due haste.
Did we get a long rest?
Yeah, go ahead and take a look.
I close my eyes real quick and think about that wonderful being and hop on my astral arms and my astral face of hers. It looks like big nose and distorted like fey face.
Excellent.
That will last for 10 minutes.
Let's see. Roll 2 dice.
Oh, and as Jolas went out, he was said, "Protect the Tidebringer!" Before he slipped into the water.
Do I, as I grip the rod and kind of like get ready for whatever's coming, I'm trying to look out the portals and see if I can see it. Does this conjure any memories of my previous times at sea or of the situation that led to my warlock pact?
There is a almost identical feeling of dread, of just like the danger of your life being held in the balance, of everything about to be potentially lost, of the power of the sea. You feel all these things, and you feel like you have that pull still with you to the Feywild, to whatever that entity is that just accompanied you on the beach as you experienced that weird dream.
Yeah.
This is definitely related, but it's not necessarily the same thing that it is.
Right.
You feel like this like conflation of all these feelings and things, and you definitely feel like through the Tidebringer's call, like you feel it like warming up almost with a familiarity and an anger.
Like it's ready to fight this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll grip it.
Probably not
Keep an
gonna
eye out,
describe
see if I can
right?
see it.
With it pointed out, you can see it as it approaches into you, the range of your vision, just a few hundred feet away, just this enormous, dark, slithering shape winding its way through the water. This close to the surface, you can see much, you have a vision much farther away, and as it draws closer, you can see large stretches of its flesh covered in like scales, as you would expect from a snake, but other sections look like fleshy and skin like an eel. It's like some weird like amalgamation or abomination of things. It has an enormous, like almost draconic looking head with a long array of sharp teeth, and all around it and leaving this trail behind it is discolored, sort of like strangely moving, more viscous water in its wake.
Yeah.
This can't be good.
Seems gross.
Just big snake.
Big river snake.
Come on, everybody.
Like, stay out of that weird liquid.
It's leaving
Keep
a
it away
trail
from the boat.
behind it.
Mm-hmm. Leaving a wake of corrupted, gross water.
Yeah. You probably should keep it away from the boat.
Are you going to have to choose what spells you take right now, Sarah?
What?
That's cheating.
I have to choose what spells to take.
Yeah.
We just finished a long rest.
You're like, what's coming at me in this very moment?
No,
Or-
I wasn't listening very hard.
She was focusing on spells. But now she needs to not be poisoned.
Alright, I'm going to take Banish Snake.
Yeah.
It's a very important spell to have when you fight a snake.
Step on the snake.
Hewitt's going to start swimming towards the snake because he doesn't want it to get too close to the boat.
Not a bad idea.
Gray will leave his bug bag inside, but he will go outside the bell
In gray form?
in gray form.
Okay.
I love great.
So without a swim speed, your movement will be halved. You'll
I
be
grab him and
difficult
drag him
terrain.
on with me.
And ranged weapons can't shoot beyond their minimum range.
Okay.
Gray, want to go for a ride? Hop on.
He told
Yeah,
us.
so
Mr. Pokey.
what do you guys want to do? You see this thing quickly approaching. You're all aware of it at this point. It seems bad, and it's heading your way.
Well, Gray will take the offer. We'll ride.
I
you.
take Pokey.
All right.
Come on, Pokester.
He's just like slowly like
Let's kill
massaging your
some snake.
flesh, like.
Nope, stop that. Stop. Nope, stop. Nope, it tickles. Nope, please.
Jolus will let go of the rope and swim, try to... Not staying with his companions, just staying somewhat away from them.
Oh, my spells are concentration.
Okay.
Why do I do this? to
And
myself?
readying a harpoon.
We kind of just position yourself between the approaching creature and the ship.
Yeah.
Cool.
Everybody get in a straight line.
It can eat us all at once. This hammer will be over in no time.
It can Pac-Man.
What are the rest of you doing? So you two are heading out. You guys moving towards the thing?
Oh yes,
Okay.
that's my 30-foot swim speed.
Excellent. Quilla and Azira.
I'll wrap the rope around my waist and tie myself in and jump in the water.
Right, and I'll acid arrow. I choose you.
So I mean, you're going to be staying within like one of the existing ropes or a new rope.
One of the existing
Okay,
ropes.
so I mean, you're going to stay within like 25 feet of the bell.
Yeah, I want to stay close to the bell.
Good call.
We can't really see outside of the belt, can we? It obstructs our view.
I mean, you can see there are portholes around it, around the exterior. But what is approaching it right now is actually visible through the bottom, although it's
Okay.
hard to see it with like the movement of the water.
Right.
But yeah, you can see this like shape like moving up from the depths towards you quickly,
We can all still breathe water.
and you can also still breathe
Mhm.
water.
But
wanna
I'll
duck your
also
head
get
in, you can
all-
see
all
much
the
more
lead
clearly.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we get
I mean,
prestidigitation.
yeah.
Or you just shake really hard.
Oh, the grey way.
I'll join Quilla.
Are you gonna tie yourself to the other rope?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wizard on a rope.
Okay.
Hey, Germer.
So, I'll say at this point, you guys have more or less gotten to your positions as this long serpentine creature slides through the water towards you at a pretty substantial pace. So, I'll say that you guys kind of got into position when it was 200 feet away.
Do you have any idea what this creature might be, Mark?
You can give me a history check if you would like.
Big snack.
Um,
Don't try to.
or I mean, really, like depending on what you were looking for, any of you seeing this creature, you can give me a variously history, religion, or nature. Just let me know what you rolled in the result.
20. So
Nat
23.
20?
Yeah.
25 history.
25 history. What's your
13 religion.
what's your total, Gray?
23.
Of what? What type?
Oh, nature.
Nature.
I got 20 history.
Jeez. 17 history.
Oh wow.
Wow.
We are some historical beings.
Okay. Gray.
Well-read sea urchin.
You know that this creature is like it's taking on the forms of a lot of like natural and normal like beasts and things, but like the fact that it has like this like scaled patches and like other like leathery like eely skin patches and like it has gills on it, but you can see it also like just judging by it, you can see like it probably like you can tell like it has lungs in it somewhere as well. Like this thing is a weird fucking thing, and it is not natural. Like no normal creature you've seen. Like either this is some weird bored mage or big words in Azira and got bored and made some monstrosity, or the gods twisted something, or some deep hole in the world that's never been seen before. Like, but this is not particularly normal.
Okay.
You would know that like you've heard there are tales of like in your druid circle of the druids of old, like banding together and working together to either like destroy or send away creatures that didn't belong here long ago, like way long ago, like super old papers, like probably not even papers, just like people remembering what papers said.
Tablets.
Yeah. So it could be that this is like some super old ancient thing that hasn't been around for a long time, but it's weird. History. You two, Quilla and Nazira, you two have been talking quite a bit about some of the things you've been experiencing. Quilla, with your history check, you've heard of great leviathans and beasts of the ocean that capture ships and swallow them down, but this is weird, and like it's not something that you've heard about specifically. There's something in your mind though, as you feel the pressure of this around you, you feel the pull of Luna, of the moon. And you feel like there's some connection here between the moon, like it's in the back of your mind right now. But you feel like all this talk about the moon, the tides coming in and out, like there's something.
Like just risk like a glance over my shoulder as we're near the surface. Is the moon out?
It's far beneath the water, you can't tell. You're still like 20 feet under, so you can't really, can't tell. Unless you give me an intelligence check just to see if your mind's eye remembers that detail.
Probably not. That's like I'm not very high. That's a 7.
Nazira, your history check, you know that the like elven scholars of old tell about how once upon a time, like this world was full of just strange beasts of gargantuan size and power, just primal, like almost like ideals, or like you've heard of it in your studies, similar to like the gods all have like the thing that they do, and if they were ever to like venture too far away from that, they probably wouldn't be a god anymore, or they'd be so utterly transformed it would be meaningless. Like there were ancient beasts that were like that were so much the essence of something, and they were like primal creatures, but they're all gone. And this is, whatever this thing is beneath the water, it's far too small to match those descriptions. But there's something about it, and just how it's like part this, part that. And there's something about the smell, and like now that you see it, like the color of the discoloration that it's leaving in the water. You don't remember quite what it is, but something seems important about that.
Underwater. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Fireball underwater works, right?
It does. It's magic. So, like I said, you guys kind of get into a position when it's still 200 feet away. It is swimming fast in your direction. No surprise or anything, but why don't we just roll initiative?
Surprise initiative!
Yay!
Ooh, baby, a triple.
Where's my scratch paper?
Where's my initiative?
2.
5. I was a screw person.
I only got
Forgot
an 8,
it's
so it's ready to not roll
Yeah.
particularly well.
Okay, I heard Gray got an 8. Nazira.
I got a 17.
17. Quilla. Wow.
Close tripping over this.
5. Jolas.
15.
15. And Hewitt.
21.
21?
Yes.
Sí.
Very good.
And having Jared's character named Joelass is getting me every time.
Gets you every single.
Is there ever a campaign without a trippy name?
Bulger Holder?
Holdenberger.
Yeah, I
This
spell half the time I spell Holder's name like Bulger's name.
Holger.
Yeah.
Holger and Boulder.
I'm like, wait, no, there's an E in there.
This serpentine creature is just surging through the water towards you. It is making a very fast pace as it's dashing through the water, effectively making going real fast. Just mechanically, it's gonna be real fast. But it's 200 feet away from you guys as the round begins. Hewitt, you are up first. You are right now just like 40 feet away from the ship, so I'm gonna say like from you guys the farthest out. That's where the 200 feet begins. So it's 200 feet away from you, and it's closing fast. What would you like to do?
I would like to be a monk and hold a punch for when it gets close.
Alright, so you're gonna
Punch it right in its mouth.
use your reaction to hold your attack.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, any movement?
Scary.
That's a good question.
Thank
I'll move like an extra 20 feet out there.
you. Okay, so it's only 180 feet away from
Yeah.
you now. Alright, and you're holding your action. Next up is the creature.
Would go right after me.
It is going to swim 80 feet in your direction, and it's then going to use its action to swim another 80 feet in your direction.
Very fast.
Blues.
160 feet, so that is now just 20 feet away from you.
5 feet away.
5 feet?
I have a extra 5 to my 10-foot reach, so I
Oh,
have
I
a
see,
reach of
from
15
hit.
right now.
Well, I'd have to move out of your movement.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's a prepared attack, so yeah, gotcha. So yeah, it's just outside, just outside your
You just start
attack.
flailing at it with all your tentacles.
Yeah, just like make my tentacles spread out real big, just like plus my extra arms.
Excellent. And as
'Cause
it
I'm very octopusy,
surges-
octopodal now.
surges through the water towards you, it's like spewing forth this foulness in your direction, and
Ew.
it begins to surround you, and that like smell of blood is definitely like more and more replaced by this like acidic sense that is just clawing at your nose and your throat, like as you're breathing the water in, or whatever you breathe through as an octopus person. But it's just harsh and painful. That ends its turn in
Is Gray still riding?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Nazira, you're up next. Jolas, you're on deck.
Sorry.
So right now this creature is just like 20, 40, like 40, 50 feet away from you.
60 feet?
Just a charger from the dog.
20 max, 40. Yeah, like 60 feet away from you.
That's about it.
Sure.
I am going to cast. It's a con save though. It's going to save.
You don't know that. What is Constitution?
Always save on Constitution. I'm going to cast
Quilla doesn't know
Dawn.
that.
You cast what?
Dawn.
Dawn?
Yeah.
Here comes
Tell me
the
what that.
sun.
I mean, it enjoys a beautiful dawn.
It makes a
Has a
beautiful
mimosa.
sunrise. Please
the
make a
ocean bird.
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
Give me a word picture.
Particular creature.
Slytherins have constitute.
21 is the saving
Shut up, Mark.
Constitution save. Well, actually, it has proficiency on con save, so
I knew it!
it's even better than that. Sorry, it's like 26.
I'm sure it takes half damage.
Should have had more time to figure out my spell list.
You only had like 2
Should have come
weeks.
prepared. You had a month.
You knew we were
So,
going to bed.
Oh, actually, is it too late to do my important? Yeah.
I'd say no.
No?
Yeah, you can do
Really?
important. Yeah, go for it.
It gets a 1.
All right.
I told you how to
That's
use
a
that
quality important right there. Yeah, it gets a 1 and fails. What happens to it?
Okay.
Nice.
Let me get it up again. Where did it go? Level 5.
Oh, we could do that as a bonus action. Oh, I should have done that.
The light of dawn shines down on the location I specified. There is a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of bright light, of bright sunlight.
It's so bright.
It takes 4d10 radiant damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one.
Nice, failed save.
Maybe I should have saved that for like...
Oh, it's silly
Right now, we already went back in time to do that. We're not going to go back in time to undo it.
Okay, and I can move it as a bonus action. Alright, where's the damage? 4d10. Not sure this is the... Yeah. Wait, no, that's an 8. Hold on. Sorry.
Sound of laughter. You're crying in the background.
It takes a lonely 17 points of damage.
17 points of radiant damage.
You know, sometimes the spells, they sound so cool, and then they just don't do as much damage as they seem
I mean,
like
it's
they
situational though. Against vampires, that would be great.
Yeah.
should. That's true.
Against your vampire friend that you're
I know,
gonna
right?
go meet
We're
with.
gonna go out.
Well, I
anything
was
else,
fighting
Azira?
undead last time, so you know it's
Whole movie.
Which direction is this thing swimming in?
It's coming in from below you, and now behind you as you guys have tried to get above and away from it.
Okay. And how fast does it move?
Real quick.
Like more than 60 feet, right?
Looks like it.
Is it-
So.
I mean, it's hard to tell. You don't have a
Yeah.
ruler out there.
Can I use my bonus action to start moving it?
To start moving it?
Yeah, because I can move it as a bonus action, but it's
Oh,
only
the
60 feet.
the cylinder of
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah,
I'll allow it.
so I'll move it seemingly in the direction that the thing is trying to.
Trying to get ahead of it so it doesn't lose your dawn cylinder.
Exactly.
It's a long snack.
All right, Jolas, if that's in Nazir's turn.
Jolas is going to take the rope that he has and tie it around one of his javelins.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to tie the other end around his waist. He's going to use his movement. He's going to move away from the main group of people.
Okay.
Space.
And I'll that's my action to tie up everything under my movement, so that's about all I can do I can use my bonus action to dash a little more.
The extra few.
An extra 10 feet.
All right. Anything else? You're just kind of getting ready to for next round.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah. I will be preparing to throw this at the cream once it gets in range. But
Okay. Yeah, probably. What is it? 20 feet range for a javelin.
javelin has 30.
30. What's the second increment for him?
30-60? It is 31-20.
31, 20. Wow. So it can go 30 feet.
Would you give me anything for having the sharpshooter feat?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, aiming real well doesn't mitigate water resistance.
Because I don't get a disadvantage on the longer distance, but I thought that would be the case. But with the shot.
So after Jolos, we have Gray and Quilla bringing up the rear on deck.
Alright.
Gray, being now within 30 feet of this thing, says, "You should see a sky," and he casts Water Walk on it.
Oh, yay!
Water Walk.
Fight over!
Not really. If you target a creature submerged in a liquid, the spell carries the target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per round. Someone's going to constantly be moving up 60 feet for 1 hour.
Oh my god.
I cast Water Walk
So
on the
On the surface.
the target for Water Walk is up to 10 willing creatures.
Oh,
you can see.
willing.
So I will let you make this as an attack. So it can make a DC save against this, but I'll give it a chance to save against this every round though.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Water Walk, Transmutation, that feels Constitution-y, which is good for it as well.
It's a bummer.
So it's feeling pretty confident about this, and it does have magic resistance as well. Those are two very low rolls. 15 total. I got a 4 and a 5.
16 is what you're shooting for.
Yay! Bye, Snakey!
The snake is like going, it's like you can see its like back tail just like whipping through the water, propelling itself forward. Its head like creepily like stationary almost as it moves, and the whole back of its body just winds back and forth, and then it just like kind of like seems like almost like it's suddenly like waving through air. As it's just like starts floating upwards instead of swimming towards you. You guys will have a chance to like get at it if you want to, as it's like going to spend its next turn just moving towards the surface. You guys are like 20 feet under, so it'll probably take its full round just to move up there. If you get close enough, it's still like wildly moving around, so it's still dangerous, but it is floating to the surface of the water. Anything else, Greg?
Oh, that'll be it.
That's pretty awesome.
Quilla. You're on deck.
Yeah, Quilla will. Quilla is. I'll save that. I'm just gonna shoot 3 Eldritch Blasts at it.
Okay, excellent.
Get him.
Eldritch Blast. Where's the modifier? That's gonna be 21 to hit.
Oh, I forgot a quick thing. Jolas, were you within 30 feet of this creature for no reason at all?
I don't know. I was.
You were probably trying to get pretty close to it,
I was
imagine.
getting pretty close. I was trying
But
to
you-
get that,
You wanted
I
to
can
be in
only
30
move
feet
20
because
feet.
you wanted to
Yeah.
hit it, and you weren't
He
there
was by
yet,
the
right?
boat.
Or were you?
I wasn't very.
Oh, you weren't by the boat.
I thought you were tied
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
you screwed away.
Or maybe not.
No.
You
Well,
tied
just
yourself to your
determine it either way. Just give me a d20 over. If it's odd, you were within 30 feet. Even, you were just outside.
It's 50-50. Fine.
Even.
Okay, so you were just outside the range. Is that what they said?
Yeah.
So you're just outside the corrupting water. However, I think the two of you were within.
We all love it.
So
Nom, nom, nom.
this is happening on your turn. So Gray, this is affecting you. So make a Constitution saving throw for me.
It's a pass. 12.
12,
Oh, Constitution saving throw plus 2. 14.
14. Still not enough.
Uh-oh.
You breathe in some of this fouled water, even through like the magic of water breathing. Like you're still like bringing this into your system, and you are like choked for a moment by this thick like battery acid infused water, and you are going to take.
Is that poison, by the way?
It is poison.
Then I have advantage.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's 1 point better. So
15?
15.
Still not good enough. You take 14 points of poison damage.
And I think that's halved, so 7.
You are poisoned for 1 minute. You cannot try and make a save against this until the end of that 1 minute.
Oof, okay.
So you can try, unless you get it cured some other way, of course, but you
Right.
can make another save 10 rounds from now, which is an eternity. And then, as we get to Quilla's turn, you were, I think, far enough away that you'd be outside the 30
I
feet.
think so.
Yeah, okay.
Not very far from the ship.
Yeah, so I'd say you're probably within like 40 or 50 feet of it right now, the
Okay.
creature.
Yeah, I'm just gonna blast it a couple times with some Eldritch Blast.
Excellent, blast away.
First one is 20 with a hit.
Hit.
And
Looking for a nice little 18 or higher for your hits here.
it's gonna, first one does 14 damage. Natural 20 on the second.
Nice.
That's gonna be 7 plus 10, so 17
17 more
damage.
damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then that one was low. That one was only not a hit. That's 12.
Okay. 2 Eldritch blasts streak through the water, not being slowed at all by the aquatic environs, but it's just scorching through the water itself and slamming into this creature. You see, it's like the burst slams into one of the fleshy eel skin sections, and he's just punctures through it, and you see just a cloud of more of this strange toxic fluid fill into the water from its wound. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna actually back myself just a little bit closer to the bell, kind of choke up on the rope just a little bit, so maybe 15 or so feet out of the bell, and just get ready.
Excellent. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Hi.
13 plus 7, 20.
20. You are suddenly racked by a vision or a sensation. You feel yourself completely closed in by darkness around you and pressure, weight, holding you in. You know the edges of your confines, cold and like iron.
I'm gonna grip the rod and just fight, flail against it.
Yeah, you flail and try and just resist whatever this is, and you feel when you're flailing, you aren't yourself. You are just tangled up inside a tiny cage, and that you need to get out of. And there's this overwhelming moment where this feels like it's just closing in around you, and you feel just this warm, calming pulse of the tide coming in and out and in and out, and a calmness returns to you. The Tidebringer's rod centering you back in your body in your current state, and with your save you are not negatively affected. Next up we have Hewitt.
Closer now. I run up as close as 15 feet and flail my arms at it.
Tentacle flail.
Tentacle flail, go! Ooh, that's not great. 16 to hit.
I won't
Was
do
my
it.
first attack. But with a second arm. Hold on. Yep. That's fabulous. Less than the last one to hit, which was just great.
That will
So-
also not hit.
I shall use my bonus action to punch it once more. Dear heaven. Wait, 17 to hit?
17 does not hit.
I'm distracted. I saw Quilla Gray was on my head, coughing and choking, and pulled me to the right just a little bit.
That reminds me, though, you are in the corrupted water, so please make a Constitution saving throw as well.
Poison and disease.
Immune?
I am alone.
Immune? Are you immune to the poison damage or the poison condition? They are two
Poison
different things.
condition? I believe
That means you can still take poison damage.
maybe. I can ask the cards, but I'll roll anyways, just to give it a 20.
That's going to be a
Something.
save in either case.
I'll save.
But there will be, yeah, just double check on the damage because you will take half damage, I believe. Yeah.
Wait, this is like,
Oh, it's a successful save.
19. Sorry, not 20. 19.
19 was your result?
Yes.
Fantastic. You cycle some of this water, this corrupt, gross water into your body and out, and into your body and out. It is taking a toll on your body, your octopus body, but you can deal with it.
My octobody.
You can deal with it at least in this short period of time. Hopefully, don't spend a lot of time in proximity of this creature. You'll probably be fine. You are immune to the foul water for 24 hours.
Nice. Well, it says disease and poison, and it just says you're immune. So I don't know if that means the condition or the damage.
Yeah, I think it would be the condition, because you can have damage immunities, but you can also have condition immunities. Like this creature right now has damage immunity, poison, and also condition immunity poisoned. So, spoiler. This thing that's breathing poison is
just
it's a big surprise.
exuding poison.
Yeah, but you are immune to it. Your flurry of tentacle blows, though, are largely ineffective
Great.
against this
Stop moving.
floating creature as it struggles as it floats to the surface.
Okay, human.
And that's now its turn. It is going to be floating up towards the surface. It's definitely going to be in range of both of you because you approached.
Yes, another chance to hit it.
So it is going to make. It's going to make a little bite and a little tail attack against the octopus vessel. So against Hewitt here. So we've got the bite. That's gonna natural 19. That's gonna be a 28 to hit.
Swings wide.
28 to hit for 30 piercing damage. As this thing just like swims through, as it like rides around, just clamps onto you once, spits you out, hurtling you away. It's going to swing around with its tail, and it's going to make an attack against you as well. That's a natural 20.
Oh.
So this is going to hurt a lot.
Okay.
That's going to be... I'm just using the average damage. So on the tail... That's going to be 36 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Great, your vessel goes. Just like the engine cuts out. You're like, it's not moving anymore. I think we ran into something.
Are you down?
Oh, I'm down. I'm very down. I got critted by a monster.
Gray is still maybe attached to your back. Maybe you jumped up to him. It is going to also do another thing.
Also,
Yeah, it ain't done yet.
Waving tentacle arms everywhere.
So much.
Out in the water we have... Is anybody still in the bell?
In it?
And you went out in the water, you're on the rope, and the rest of you are like free swimming. Its eyes even as it's struggling and moving towards the water and being like contorted, like being pulled up, its eyes focus on you, and once again, like it was when it was like hurtling through the water and its head was stationary, its whole body was wrapping and weaving around it. It's like it's focused solely on you right now, Quilla. And you see this enormous serpent like open up its mouth wide at you, and you can see just like powerful muscles in its throat and its tongue, like just moving, doing something. And there you can see some like fluid coagulating in the back of its throat until it spits just a stream of toxic water at you. It slams into you. You can go ahead and give me a strength saving throw to try and swim out of this, to try and resist it, as like someone.
Is that cocked or is that a 20?
I can't
I'm
see.
sure it's a 20.
It's not a little bit of a
It
blip.
looks like a 20 to
It
me.
looks like
This
a
guy.
20 to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Yeah.
This giant, just like
Plus
loogie of just this like acidic, disgusting fluid extends from the serpent.
Oh, I do have -1.
It's still
It's a natural
that's
20,
still just good enough
Okay.
with tiny bit of room there. It slams in. You can feel just like the thick, viscous warmth of it surround your body, and then it just like someone trying to like hawk a loogie and let it dangle before they suck it back into their mouth. The viscous fluid just begins to pull back rapidly into the serpent, and you were able to just like quickly just like pull and like swim away from it and keep out of its grasping spout. So you do not get pulled towards it, but you do take some acid damage from
Go
this.
figure.
You're going to take 22 points of acid damage.
Ouch.
Oh wait, that's a failed save. Half as much. So you take 11 points of acid damage and you are not pulled.
Toxic loogies.
You don't want none of them toxic loogies,
How
man.
much damage did it do to your claw?
Just 11.
And with that, its writhing serpentine body just like still struggling to gain control of itself, but under the effects of Gray's spell, it continues to go up towards the surface. It's going to make its save to break the spell again, but will end its turn basically on the surface, even if it fails. With a natural 18, it's going to be 28 to save, so it'll make it. You can see it just like once it breaks or breaches the surface, it's like writhing and splashing. You guys can hear the concussion of it like slamming its body into the water below, and it seems to slowly start winding its way back down beneath the surface, but it's up there right now. Nazira, you're up.
So it's all the way up at the surface now?
It is. So just like 20-ish feet above the boat. And from you right now, since you were probably a little bit, you were on the ropes moving in between the boat and it, so it's probably like 30 to 40 feet away from you right now. Above you.
Okay. 30 to 40.
And after Nazira, we have Jolas on
Get it fire.
deck.
Also, don't get hit.
Yeah. How much
Yeah.
are you for?
66
Two
points.
hits, though.
One of them a natural 20.
Yeah, one was a crit, to be fair. One was,
It hurts. Mark likes killing my my random made characters.
First off, I'll move the. Did it stop its movement at all, and it end its turn at all in the cylinder of light?
yeah, I would. Well, its movement got kind of disrupted by the spell. So just give me a quick DC check. So just roll a d20 underneath your spell save DC,
Okay.
and I'll say it did get hit by it.
Cocked.
Am I adding anything to it?
Just spell save DC. So it's just like a higher spell save DC makes this an easier check. So just had to roll beneath it.
I rolled an 8.
Yeah,
It's
so that's- yeah, it hits.
17.
Yeah.
So let's do that first. That's another. Oh, there it is. 10 damage. 22 points of damage.
Nice. What kind?
Radiant.
Beautiful. 22?
Yeah.
Because he's feeling 22.
That's my bonus action.
Nice.
For my action, how far away? It's within 90 feet.
Mm-hmm.
When you cast, I should probably. Please make an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw. 15.
All right. You take 17 points of damage and you no longer have a reaction.
Ah! That's rude.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh wait, no, that was haste.
No. You can't take a reaction until the end of your next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action.
Did you smell it?
It only gets one of 3. No, it's Tasha's Mind Whip.
A
Ew.
move, an action, or a bonus action? That's rude. Okay. Cool. All right. Fantastic.
Bring that
Great.
paycheck.
Not mad at all. Jolas, you're up.
Since it moved straight up and is now on the surface, how
I
far away
sympathize,
from
Mark.
it would you say I am at this point?
You're a little bit farther away, so I'll say you're like 40 to 50.
40 to 50 feet.
Speaking of which, Nazir, just give me a quick, just odd even check because you were at the edge of its corruptive water range.
Okay.
So odd is bad, even is good. 'Cause we're conservatives. 13. So odd is bad. So you are.
Wait. No, okay, yeah, I only have odd numbers.
So-
Wait, luck. Can I luck this?
Sure.
6.
That's even. So yeah, you're just outside the range of its corrupted water.
Thank goodness. You did not
I'm
want me
gonna
to make
swim up
Constitution or strength saving
to
throw.
the edge of what I see to be this weird water, which would put me about 30 feet away, and I'm going to chuck my. I'm going to throw my javelin at it.
Excellent. Make your attack.
That'll be a 24 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, hit the snake.
Hit that snake.
That'll be 7 points of piercing damage, and I'll let the rope spool out so that I'm at its full length and I'm 50 feet away from it.
Okay. It's got a little thing you can a harpoon rope you can pull yourself along with if it goes
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Excellent.
I can't keep up with it.
With your 10 feet
Yeah,
movement
10
speed.
And yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, and you're out of its range.
And
Great.
yeah,
Anything else?
probably it.
All right, Gray. Hewitt, you're on deck.
Can I bonus action shove a healing potion into Hewitt's mouth?
I've
full
ruled
action?
it's bonus action for yourself, full action for somebody
Oh,
else.
gotcha.
Yeah, someone needs to heal him.
He's closest.
I could do something super cool.
Do it.
Do something cool.
What would Gray do?
Yes.
What would G do?
No,
WWG.
no death saving throws yet. You got so much time. He doesn't need a turn.
Gray is going to cast Control Water, and he is going to he is going to part the waters. So it's going to part and 300 feet down. Pick up the stick. Top of the sea. It will now be 300 feet down.
That is awesome. Yes. Yeah. So it's like 100 foot. It's like a huge section, part water.
300 feet down is, or I could go 100 feet up and 200 feet down, so it'll fall 300 feet.
Wow. Wow. So, considering how big this thing is, I am going to give it, we'll call it a strength saving throw
Okay.
to try and like pull itself and like maybe mitigate the fall. It's going to go tumbling. But if this is a slightly splashing fall as it reaches the edge of the water, or if it's going to be a dry plummet to the bottom. So strength saving throw
I'm tied to it.
Are you tied to it?
is it's a 17 is the saving throw. What's your DC?
16.
16. So it's gonna like as the water begins to like separate around it, it's like swimming as hard as it can. There's a moment where it's just like swimming in the air, but it's got enough movement so it's like moving towards one of the edges of the ravine you just made in the water. But as you guys all see, like your little boat is like kind of pushed to the side, carried by the water shifting, and this serpent creature just begins to plummet down to the bottom, the wet ocean floor. So I said this was like 200 feet deep-ish around here. So it's going to make a fall from 200 feet of height. So that's going to be D6 for every 10 feet. It's going to be like 19 D6. I'm going to say this thing is no way it's making like terminal velocity given its immense mass. So it's going to plummet, but it is going to take, I'm going to say, half damage from hitting the edge of the water and slowing its fall.
Yeah.
What's happening to me?
Are you gonna roll them all
You-
one by one?
Yeah, why don't you just roll it
Okay.
digitally for me? 19d6, please. You
It's tied to your waist, so you can't let go.
Yeah, it is tied to you.
It's
How
tied
this
to
being held.
I,
Okay.
75.
I would be trying to
75.
frantically saw at it, but like, I don't know if I'd have enough time.
Ooh,
to
that
do
doesn't look good.
Yeah, I would say you have certainly not a full turn with it, but you have something approaching a reaction to deal. So you're being pulled as this like water's approaching, this water's edge is approaching you. You're being pulled towards it as the serpent is being like plummeting down. So you have a moment to try and like cut your rope, try and just go with
That's
it.
immediately
What do you
what I would try to cut my rope.
wanna do? Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. We'll say this is a DC. You've got a weapon out, I presume.
I
You just threw a javelin.
just threw my javelin. I haven't pulled anything. out
Okay,
yet,
so that's good. We'll say then that this is. We'll just make it a 15.
Alright.
Roll well.
I rolled a 14 and my dex is good, so 19.
So just as you're
Show us
like
the rest.
the moment you like pull out a dagger and like drop it for a moment, and then catch it with the other hand and just like cut through it just as like your leg is hanging over into the dry air outside the edge of the water. You just like paddle yourself back as you're like just about to fall into nothing. The snake, however, goes tumbling down, and you hear just this enormous like slam as half of its body just like whips and slams into the like wet, silty surface below, and a little bit like its head and a little bit just like splash into the water's edge just outside. So it's going to take half of 75 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what is that, like
37.
37 points of damage. Nice.
Well done.
I mean, you probably could have done that with a bow, but
Yeah,
this is a lot cooler.
This is way more fun, and
Yeah,
it
that
can
was-
only use
This
its
is awesome.
action, reaction, or a bonus action, or a move.
I know.
And it just fell 200 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take forever to get to us.
Gee whiz. Fantastic. Great. Gray, anything else?
I cast a spell, so I can't use a bonus action spell. Nope, that one.
Alright, Quilla.
Well, that changed what I was gonna do. So
That changed the battlefield a little bit.
I'm just gonna. I'd still probably be within 300 feet of it, I'm guessing. So I'll Eldritch Blast it 3 more times.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I can
You
do.
just like swim up
much
to the
else.
edge of the water, and you can like stick your arm out
Yeah.
like into the
Quick
air.
shot. That's gonna be 23. That one's 18. Does that hit still?
18 hits.
Okay. And that one's like 27. So.
Well done.
That's gonna be 8. 15.
15?
And,
Nice.
Yeah. And then 6.
What was it? 8, 15, and 6?
8, 15, and 6,
Okay.
yeah.
15, 8, and 6 is 14, so 29 points.
Yeah, 29
Nice.
points damage.
Well managed.
Cool, cool, cool.
How does Quilla finish this thing off?
Oh, she sends this Eldritch Blast, and like as the like the force of the blast almost looks like the corruption is getting like imploded on the creature. Like the blast like hit like where the corruption's oozing out, and it just like sunks it back in, and it just sort of like bubbles out from the outside.
Especially like first
Set up.
blast like hits it, making a new wound, and like more of the stuff just like explodes out, and the second and third one hit like basically like the same spot and just goes and just explodes in this big old blast of toxic sludge. Fortunately, a good 200 plus feet away from you all. And you see, while Gray's spell lasts, you see this just like ruined and wrecked body of this strange serpent creature far down below you on the bottom of the, well, you can see the sky above it, but bottom of the ocean, like 200 plus feet beneath the water.
Jolas will
air.
swim over to Hewitt and grab him and pull him inside the bell.
Oh yeah,
An attempt to stabilize him.
It's a good point. Quilla, as you release those blasts of energy, you feel again that strange sensation of being trapped in a cold, like iron shell. But you feel like with the death of this creature like that, the like struggle against your confines slows and calms for a moment, and you find the transition back into your own consciousness and self and awareness smoother. And you feel the oppressive weight of something watching you begin to fade as well. Still there, but the presence of it, the pressure of it diminishes.
Interesting. Yeah, I just clutched the rod tightly and like kind of just look after where it fell, and as I see them drag Hewitt by, I'll swim over and do healing hands on him.
Okay.
And try to deal with like what I can.
Yeah, I'd say you're close enough to get to Hewitt within one round, so you wouldn't have had to make more than one round of death saving throws because your turn was next.
I rolled a 10.
Which is a success anyway. So
Good.
I was going to live.
for sure. But the Quilla, the holder of the Tidebringer's call, brings you back to life. You feel similar sensation of when you were first awakened. The same flavor, the same scent, or the same familiarity of magical power runs through your body.
You now have 15 hit points.
You again! Brought back to life by the Tidebringer!
Are you
I'm
alright?
chosen!
I am the chosen one. I cannot die.
I think so, and I like pull myself back up into the bell. Imagine we're like kind of regathering. That thing, that oppression I was feeling, it was that or something. I don't think it was just that. It's better now that was gone, but it's not. The feeling's not gone totally.
Using that as an instrument of its
Yeah.
Watchfulness?
Something's following me or this.
Great.
It's disconcerting.
Where'd the snake go?
Down.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can still see it splatter down there.
Nazira and Quilla, in the aftermath of this battle, there's a moment where you look down into the big shaft of open air and see the ruined corpse of this creature far below you, in a splattering of like reddish brownish fluid mixing with the water. It's this strange, like rusty sort of blood color. The two of you, I think, both like see this. Well, you had the rolls earlier, some really good ones. There's that thing that was kind of familiar to you about this, the sense of this thing. You know, the moon, Luna, that's around all the time, does its thing, has its effect on the oceans and the tide coming in and out. You know that the elves tell of the, tales and songs of a second moon that comes and goes, the wanderer that hasn't been seen in decades. Quilla, this is something you would have learned as you've been like looking to more of your heritage, that you've like probably seen in some of the books about that you've read about history and what what little scant information there is about people of your lineage. There is the moon Luna, but there is also another moon called Ratha that comes and goes at unpredictable times. And you've never seen it, it hasn't come in your lifetime. It's been maybe 80 plus years since it was last seen. When it came around last time, you remember reading about it. It was small and distant and didn't, wasn't here, it wasn't around or visible for very long. But this other moon, Ratha, there's like some of the images that you saw and like some of the songs describing it that you've heard describe it like as like almost like the color of this creature's like blood and bile and whatever this corruption Icarus fluid is that's now splattered on the ocean's floor.
If I look, like trying to look up and out, like I'll even swim out of the bell, can I see if the moon is out through our big gap in the water that we made?
Yeah, you swim out to the big split water. Looking up into the sky, you see the moon. You see Luna up there. It's really like getting closer to a full moon right now.
Do I see anything else, another moon, a little further?
You don't offhand. You know that from what you've heard, Ratha, it can come like sometimes like the last time it came like it was like hardly, like it was barely visible as something other than like a star or a planet. And then it went on its way and then hasn't been seen from since. But it's not visible right now for sure.
Okay.
At least in the little
What
patch of the
swath
sky you can see right now.
from
Yeah.
in the water.
Is this moon's appearance in the night sky ever? Is it like related to terrible things happening or anything like that? Is there any sort of greater astronomical?
Yeah, give me a history check
astrological-
for context.
Okay. History. Come on.
Just killed the moon.
And Gray will cast Lesser Restoration, remove that poison as well.
Oh, nice.
Just a 14.
A 14. The elves are funny about these things. Like elves, like they, some of the songs refer to as like a harbinger of change and things, but you don't hear that it's necessarily. There's not all the songs of like doom and gloom explicitly or exclusively related to it, but there are like times of turmoil and change associated with it. But you don't remember in too great a detail. You just have these like some lines of songs that are trickling through your mind, describing its color and its appearance, and it comes and goes, the wanderer. But you don't remember enough detail to be totally sure.
Would I be able to capture from this dead thing a soul trinket? If I got slammed down, got within 30 feet of it, could I get a soul trinket from it?
A soul trinket?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what a soul trinket is?
When a life ends in your presence, you're able to snatch a token from the departing soul, silver of its life essence that takes physical form as a reaction when the creature you can see dies. Well, it didn't die within 30 feet of me. So
Yeah, that's true. It did die like 200
Should have kept that rope
Almost.
tied.
Yeah, you could have written it down.
if I'd have written it down, if I had somehow survived the fall, I'd be able to have a new toy.
That was 75 damage. I mean,
Yeah, you could have taken that.
Maybe even mitigated by its squishy body. Right?
Lands with a splat and the poisonous
Yeah.
ichor.
Right, yeah. Corruption.
and you take a million poison damage.
Yeah.
And acid damage.
It's not the fall that killed you, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I survived.
Enough time to grab that essence.
Yeah.
So it is after 9 o'clock now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like 9:02.
1 up.
Another 2
Oh.
The TV show 90210.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills.
I remember that playing in our basement from time to time.
Classic television.
Wilson really liked it.
Yeah, that's probably when I remember when Alan and the Martins were over. Yeah, so do you guys want to go a little further? You guys want to call it? What do you guys feeling? After a fight is always a good place to end it. If you guys are up for ending it, I can tell you that you are drawing quite close to your destination, and it is not long after this fight, after you've taken a moment to gather yourselves and set underway again, that you breach the surface and begin your keeping an eye out, and eventually do see the smudges in the distance of other ships anchored close to a little atoll or a little bit of surface ground structure.
They probably have a word for it.
Dark stormy cloud over.
Yeah.
I'm
You
good with
do not,
calm
however,
there.
see the dark stormy cloud.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, is it because it's night?
It's still during the day right now.
Oh, okay. But didn't she just look up at the moon?
Yeah, the moon can be out during the day.
Alright, well, you know.
I should have found out what it was because it's up through our. Yeah, that's it.
Not pirates.
Maybe he's in his cabin.
Maybe he's in a circumference.
He doesn't run his clouds all the time. He's got energy costs, you know?
Spell slots.
Oh, Gibbous.
Well, that was fun.
It came up.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, my
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mark.
Thank you, Mark, for killing another one of my.
I mean, it's not a
My only
campaign.
regret is not permanently dead.
There's always next.
There's always next time.
Man, playing in person is so fun.
Oh,
It really is.
so much fun.
Yeah,
The next
That's
week,
great.
maybe.
strong person.
Ryan will be in
Ryan's gonna
town.
Is he?
Yeah.
Alright.
Seems like a good occasion for
Sounds
it.
like a good plan. figure out what I'm doing next.
Kidding.
I mean, I know everything about what's gonna happen all the time.
Where did we leave
Not
off?
always
We're
as
gonna restore a
expected, that's
dragon's
possible.
Oh yeah, we're in the middle of a dragon fight, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you are.
Jesus.
Fight to get
The
to the
fight to
dragon
get to the
bones.
dragon bones.
Because we're so drunk.
Remember that one
Yeah.
time where we went and saw the wrong guy?
Yeah.
Because that was fun.
So I have been putting some time to it, and I think I'm going to take a little